For Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you on this Thursday afternoon. Landon Schmidt producing. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get into this afternoon. We got to talk the Grizzlies. Another loss for them last night. This time it was against the Boston Celtics. We got Thursday night football tonight. Kind of a lopsided matchup on paper. Jets and Patriots later tonight, a college football game tonight, but we got to start talking about the college football action this weekend. We've got a really good college basketball game tonight between Purdue and Alabama, so a ton to get into over the next 3 hours. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well, and I think we are at an inflection point in Grizzlies history of the full-fledged Grizzaster for the 25 years in Memphis. I think we've hit rock bottom.
I mean, I think it'd certainly be up there. I mean, if you're ranking them, I think you gotta put this one in there somewhere.
I would love people's input on that. I really would. Long time, short time, medium time observers of the Grizzlies. Has it ever felt this hopeless, this early in a year? And it hadn't. When was the last happy day for the Grizzlies? Before Ja and the Denver incident?
Yeah, I mean, it probably would be around there.
When was the last time we were really on a roll with Grizz fever?
I'm trying to get my seasons correct, and I can't really off the top of my head.
We sure had it in 21 and 22.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, those playoff years were really good.
The Laker exit kind of started it.
Kinda, yeah, and then the injuries after injuries after injuries that just kind of felt like they were piling up over the last couple of years. Really,
and off the court,
jumped into definitely off the court. But
this is wholesale bad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not good, and it's kind of all of that piled up together: injuries and off the court drama,
poor play,
slumps, and poor play. I mean, it's just kind of everything that it felt like before were individual issues and kind of the reason for the maybe Grizzasters all kind of piled up into one massive Grizzaster right now.
Oh, and this is a great point I get at the Brett text line. This has to be the worst point when you've had both Ja and Jaren healthy.
Yeah, well, that is a really good point.
That is a really good point.
Yeah, because usually that's kind of been the fallback off of those as well.
It really has been. Well, if we had Ja, Jaren's trying to do it, right, or the other way. That is a great point.
That is really good point.
And that's the cornerstone of the team.
Yeah, no, it's been told. I mean, multiple times. I mean, it was just said this offseason that those two were going to be the nucleus and are the nucleus of this team, and it's building around those two guys, and they have just have not really given you much anything to start the season.
They're the ones that, I mean, if you can't count on them, the money, look, it's all more money than we can imagine, and most of that's paid by the networks. I know people that are long time or season ticket holders or suite holders, whatever. I know that's a lot of money for you too. I understand that. I'm not scoffing at it. But that's baked in the cake. No, I mean, if you have an NBA team, you're going to have high-priced players.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, it's just we talk about the schedule. We talk about, when does it turn? When does it get better? And it just feels like every single night it just gets worse. And last night just kind of felt like
pure pathetic.
I mean, it really was. It was. But the good thing about last night is you knew early. You knew it was over early. I guess that's the positive of it.
The body language, the disinterest. Which how do you have good body language in a 36-point loss?
Yeah. No, I mean, and you saw it. I mean, you had GG and Hall and those guys. I mean, they were checking in 10 minutes, 9 minutes, somewhere in that span in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was
it was the point of the game where G League team go in.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you waved the white flag early last night because of that deficit. So yeah, I mean, it was all out bad. And this was the game Monday where we were talking with the Michael Cole, and he said, hey, if you're going to win a game on this road trip, it really needs to come against Boston because, yeah, it's Boston. Yeah, it's at their place, but they have their own injuries. They're kind of putting together some lineups of, maybe what does the future hold for this team. And, you go out, I think we talked about it yesterday, 6.5, I think it moved to 7.5, maybe even 8 after the Ja Morant injury news. And just, it wasn't even close to that number. I mean, it was from really early, all Boston, and just an all-out rout for the Celtics.
And if and when there are firings, it won't be just, the director of player personnel here and the travel coordinator there. Mm-hmm. No, it will be a bunch.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be from the top down, and it should be. I mean, it's just it's been really bad, and it's been really bad for a while now, and it starts at the top, and it really starts with that front office. It starts with the general manager, and I think that's where the firing should start, with front office.
Starts with the president of the team, Jason Wexler.
Yeah.
It starts with accountability from all of them, and it starts up there with more transparency on getting this deal done on the future of the Grizzlies.
Sure.
That also plays into this low point.
No, it does. I mean, when you have all of what's going on the court and off the court with the players and the coach, and then on top of all of that, you have somewhat uncertainty about the future. I mean, it just it is really.
How about that FedEx Forum press conference in the grand lobby of, look, the season's going bad, but here's the plans for the future of FedEx Forum and the Beale Street area.
Yeah, I would love that. And maybe we get that soon.
But we get the same games from that as we get on the injury stuff.
Yeah, no, we do. No doubt about that. And yeah, I mean, that'd be nice with the way the season looks like it's going. If you could, have that big press conference and announce a big deal. I mean, I guess that would be a positive from this year.
Basketball related. I'm sure not talking about ticket sales. I'm not talking about the marketing people. Basketball related people. Every person there should be thinking, 4 or 5 more game losing streak, and we're all out.
Yeah, no, I think we're very close to some decisions being made, and some unfortunately some decisions being made, and some people
and
losing
in fairness, in complete fairness, yes, beset by a lot of injuries last night.
Yeah,
you had nothing at point guard. You did not, but. That's when, I know he was out last night, but this is when Ja and Jaren were supposed to step up and be the backbone of the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but I mean, you're right. I mean, last night was kind of that one game where it felt like if it was going to roll out of control, it was going to be, because you're right. I mean, there was not a guy that you could rely on to be that ball handler out there. And yeah, and it kind of goes back to needing Ja healthy, and him being out last night really hurt for this team, because I know, even though he has struggled and has turned the ball over a lot, I mean, even with all that, I think he's probably a better option at the point guard than what you had out there last night, even with his recent struggles and the slump he's in.
And Jaren with his 2 rebounds.
Yeah, no, that was one of the big things from last night, is the rebounding. And just after we got done talking about Aaron Bradshaw the night before with what he did with very little rebounds for the Tigers, Jaren Jackson. Kind of got the same thing from him, and the way that the rebounding happened last night against Boston, it was a lot of just ball would fall, and it would kind of be in a Grizzlies player hands, and then next thing you know, somehow Boston, one way or the other, a Boston player gets in. It was usually turned into an offensive rebound that turned into second chance opportunities for the Celtics. And you look at those big men for Boston, and it's not like they were playing a team that has great big men. I mean, it was Luka Garza and Quinta getting a lot of great play, giving a lot of great play for Boston. No. I mean, this wasn't even. I'm trying to think of some good
Robert Parrish.
I'm just even thinking today's age, Brett. It's like good players, like
Jason Tatum.
Sure, but I'm thinking more big men, Brett. Like, I'm thinking of a center that's just like an okay to good center in the NBA. And, it wasn't even that. I mean, I don't think either of those guys are going to be your starting center a year from now when you have everybody healthy for Boston.
They're clearly not playing for Isolo.
No, they're not. And that was a big thing last night is especially on the defensive end. I mean, the effort just was not there at all last night, especially kind of out of the break in the third quarter. coming out with that deficit they were in, you were kind of looking for some fight because you saw a little fight in the first quarter, a little fight there in the second quarter, and I thought early it was really just Boston knocking down shots. I mean, they were hitting their shots, and then you kind of get later into the second quarter, into that third quarter, and now you're starting to see a lot of wide open shots, a lot of overcommitting on the drive and leaving that corner guy open, a lot of miscommunication on the pick and roll. I mean, it really became an effort thing last night for the Grizzlies on the defensive end.
I say the low point in 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can argue with that. It is. I mean, when you look up and you're 4-9 on the season, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better, I think it's really hard to argue with that. So.
And we talk about the return of Zach Edey, and I do think it will help, but let's not talk about like it's Hakeem Olajuwon returning.
No. I mean, I think when and if this team can get back healthy, I think they'll be better. And it's not just. With Zach Edey. I mean, you look at some of those other guys that are injured right now. Ty Jerome was a guy that was a big pickup in free agency that was looked towards to be a key piece with this, especially with the offense. When those two guys come back, I mean, I think you'll be better, but I don't think you're going to go from what we're seeing right now to being a playoff team in the West. I mean, those guys are added to this. I do not think give you that type of jump.
And Brian, the concerns we are voicing, the criticism I and we and us are lodging, this was all said at the completion of last year's sweep exit from the playoffs by us at this time on this station in crystal clear language. I thought it should be the big reset right then. Yeah. And I think the biggest reason it wasn't is how are we going to sell tickets without Ja?
Yeah.
Well, now with him, how are you going to sell tickets with a team that has checked out on a new coach?
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is it does not seem like this team is playing for the head coach, and it kind of goes back. I know you were full, blow it up and do everything. I was not with that. I was kind of make a change with one of the big three, and then see where you can go from that.
Medium-sized three.
Sure, medium-sized three. But it kind of all latched on to what does the future look like, and we all kind of thought that okay, you have this guy that's been on the staff. He, I guess, seemingly has a really good relationship with all of these guys. That's why you're making him the head coach, and we thought, okay, things are going to be really good. And you hear all these things of how good of a coach and how he's going to fix everything and how he's really going to work well with Ja Morant, and we've seen everything but what we kind of were told we were going to see. And so I think that is the massive thing is it feels like this team is checked out right now, and I think that starts from up top with the coaching decision and bringing in Tomas Islo, and obviously I think that goes back to the general manager and these decisions that he and the rest of this front office has been making. But we got to talk a lot of things today. We'll get back into this Grizzlies conversation later in this hour, but let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Keith Smith, who usually joins us at 4 o'clock, he needed to move up, and so glad to have him anytime we can get him. So we definitely wanted to move some things around, so he'll join us in our next segment. We'll talk a lot of NBA with him. We'll get his thoughts on the Grizzlies, but a lot of other things going on around the NBA and some really fun basketball being played in the NBA. So we'll talk about it all. He joins us from Spot Track and the Front Office Show every single week. 3:45, we'll talk some more about the Grizzlies. We'll get into this loss last night against the Boston Celtics, and it does not get any easier. The Grizzlies with a couple days off before they have to see the Cavaliers. So it remains tough on this road trip for the Grizzlies.
It's the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to always be tough. But man, I'd love to be at Charlotte or something like that on this road trip instead of seeing.
No biblical studies next on the schedule.
No. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies not playing the American non-conference schedule. But so we'll talk about the Grizzlies last night. What's coming up for them as they remain on the road. 4 o'clock. Pat Smith from Jocks in Birmingham. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of college football with him. Plenty to discuss with Pat. 4:30, we'll get to another 4 Down segment. This time, Brett will be leading us with the questions. So he'll give us 4 questions revolving around the world of college football, and we'll discuss all of those things at 4:30. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Greg Gaston. He'll join us. We'll talk Tigers with him. We'll get into this football team. Talk about last Friday's loss against Tulane. This Saturday's game against East Carolina. We'll also talk the basketball side of things and discuss the Tigers, their loss against Ole Miss, and what he expects this weekend against UNLV. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The hot tub and swim spa clearance sale is going on right now at Family Leisure. Hot tubs starting at $24.99 and swim spas starting at $14,999. In-stock patio furniture is up to 50% off, and hot tub covers, they're starting at $249. And don't forget about the spa steps and cover lifts. They're starting at just $99. Special financing, it's available, and if you mention this ad, receive a free gift with that hot tub purchase. Head out there, Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sports Time, and we're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. Hit us up. Let us know how you feel about the Grizzlies or really anything else that we are discussing. He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer is Landon Schmidt. And we're Sports Time, and every day, wherever we are, we're always in our Family Leisure Studios, and we so appreciate them. And this hour of our show is brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all remaining 25 models. The 26 is starting to dominate the showroom and the lot at Lexus of Memphis, and always special leasing options. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 25 or 26 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style, driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is the Memphis Grizzlies and their loss last night against the Boston Celtics. A 131-95 loss up in Boston. And Brett, you mentioned the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line. Let us know your thoughts on all of this. Cubs fan Bill texted in and said, I agree with you, Stats. The Grizz have hit rock bottom. In my opinion, they should trade Ja Drama while they can get
peace in our time. Cub fan and Cardinal fan agree.
Well, hey, I mean that is really
Cub
big.
fan Bill, thank you.
Yes, no, Cub fan Bill, thanks so much for texting in.
I'm sorry for all those ugly things I've said about the
hey,
Cubs,
I mean, look at this. I mean, peace between the fan bases. It is. It can be done, I guess.
Sorry, the Grizz had to bring us together.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the way that we have to come together, but it really was bad last night for the Grizzlies. I mean, just a all-out lopsided loss against this Boston team that, if we're being honest, is not the same Boston Celtics team that we've seen over the last couple of years. Certainly not the same Boston team that won the championship a couple years ago.
Brian, if I wanted to lodge a cheap shot, but since I'm not that kind of guy, I could say something really snotty like, even the Cub fans recognize this is a Grizz action. But I wouldn't do that.
No.
You wouldn't do that. I'm sorry.
You would absolutely not do that. But the story of the game last night, it really came down to three-point shooting. I guess it was one of the many things. This Grizzlies team really just does not have many three-point shooters on this team, and the ones that they have are not looking like three-point shooters right now. KCP, they brought him in that trade with Desmond Bane, and the thought was a bad year in Orlando. Maybe he could turn things around. An 0-for-3 performance from him last night.
And got hurt on really a cheap foul by Garza.
I agree with that.
Swiping that hard, almost a hit.
Yeah, those coming down trying to get those hard fouls. A lot of times, man, you're going down way too hard.
It popped his elbow.
Oh, it definitely did. It was uncomfortable to watch, but 0-for-3 for him before that injury. Jalen Wells 1-for-5, Jaren 1-for-3, Vince 3-for-10, Santi 2-for-7, Cedric 1-for-6. I mean, those are supposed to be the guys that are supposed to knock down the threes, and I mean they just were giving you absolutely nothing.
The mic near the goal that you get the kind of the net sound from, I thought it was going to break it.
Man, I mean, Brett, in that case, wouldn't be surprised. It was really bad. 23.3% for the team. 10 made threes as a group. And on the other side, Boston, they knocked down 21 threes. They shot over 41% from deep. I mean, they were letting it fly. And then you go to the rebound department and the job that the Celtics did, out-rebounding the Grizzlies 58-41. Jaren Jackson Jr. with only 2 rebounds last night. Look,
what was the bright spot? Clock hitting 0?
That I could watch other games and not really have to worry about the Grizzlies, and if they were and the fact that they didn't have to break your heart in the fourth quarter. I don't know, but there was nothing good from that game last night.
It wasn't a here we go moment all night.
No. I mean, it was awful. It was really, really bad, and I think you're seeing it. And I think with a loss like that, I think a lot of people are starting to realize, Brett, this could be the biggest disaster ever.
Shocker, my top story. Biggest disaster ever.
Wow,
the Eli Savoy disaster,
wow.
Every single tenet of it being met and then some. We got to get him to get the real meteorological breakdown of it all out. But the Grizzlies are in an all-time funk, I feel. Low point in the 25 years in Memphis, and the timing's never good for that. And this timing's not. It causes a lot of unease, especially when we have the questions with very few answers out there about the future. Almost all of this was predictable. Why are we sitting around acting so surprised by it? Yeah. If only somebody in late April and May had pulled the fire alarms. Yeah. We did. I did. Now, in the spring, after being swept, this had to have been addressed then, but no. Wexler and Kleiman just ran it all back with one exception. Let's try the European coach that's never worked in the league. Never one time has that worked in the league, so let's try that. When Isolo is fired, it needs to be firings en masse that day. Wexler, Kleiman have to go too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would be very, very. I mean, use the word, Brett. Very disappointed if this front office fires this head coach, and that's just the end of it.
I'm glad you used that word, because that's going to be one of the fundamental tenets of 4 downs.
I can't wait.
Disappointed word.
Oh man, I love it. We'll make it this the word of the day, Brett.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, we're just a couple days away from the weekend in college football, and it has already started. We've had action all week. We've got a game tonight with Thursday night football on the college side of things. We've got a couple games tomorrow night, but this Saturday looks really, really fun, and this could be a Saturday that determines a lot of things come bracket time for the college football playoff. Listen to these
playoffs start Saturday.
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, listen to these matchups, Brett. Notre Dame at Pittsburgh, Oklahoma at Alabama, Georgia Tech on the road against Boston College. Be careful, Georgia Tech. Iowa at USC, Florida at Ole Miss. Utah at Baylor, Texas at Georgia. I mean, there are a lot of really good top 25 versus top 25 matchups, and then there's a lot of games of, hey, make sure you take care of business in this one, whether it's on the road, whether it's at home. This is not the game where you slip up.
A&M South Carolina.
A&M South Carolina. That's a perfect one. So a really, really fun slate of games this weekend at the top of the college football world.
I know I say it every year on November 13th at 3:23, but this has been a great college football season.
Oh, it's been awesome. It's been phenomenal.
And you can get ready for me to run it back next year.
Yeah, I'll book it.
A year from now. My not top story, 2 rebounds last night for Tripp. 2 rebounds. You'd think at 6'10", he could get at least 3, like Tripp rebounds in a game. I wonder which one of the 2 rebounds was really his favorite. I would love for somebody to ask that. You got 2. Which one was the most distinctive of the 2? Which one did it separated from the other one? 2 rebounds. That's it. Larry Finch once said, a dead man can get 0 rebounds. Just a pulse. Yeah. And at 6'10", and I said I wasn't going to mention money, but making $35 million a year, you can get 2 rebounds.
Yeah, well, Brett, it's only 2 more rebounds than we all
Softest big
had.
man in the league.
Yeah, no, it is not great, and I'll tell you this.
6'10" that plays 5'10".
Brad, I'll tell you this. When we were at the game for Memphis against Ole Miss, my brother, he said, you know who Aaron Bradshaw reminds me a lot of? And who is it? He goes, Karen. I go, oh, man. Yeah, well.
That's it.
Kind of play a lot. Those finesse bigs. You got to go up strong. You got to go grab rebounds. And they have not.
It's like a soft tossing right-handed pitcher. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I don't want one of those.
Rare back and foggy.
Yeah, don't want one of those.
Don't want a big man that plays small.
No, definitely not. But that will do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. And when we return, we're going to talk some NBA. We'll talk more about the Grizzlies. What else is going on in the NBA? Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Sometimes life can be challenging. Relationships can be hard. Work can be exhausting. Cold weather can seem to soak into your bones. In those times, there is only one solution: a bar. And not just any bar. What you need is Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Forget your troubles by settling in at the bar or at a table at Bell Tavern and let the comfortable atmosphere, coupled with the fantastic drinks and friendly staff, wash your worries away. Come to Bell Tavern and meet some friends or make some friends. And remember that all those things out there in the real world are nothing.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action, and together helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20 plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
We're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied.
Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. As all the major outbound routes, it looks like they've all picked up here in the last few minutes, especially trying to get into South Memphis right now. South of town is at steady flow. Traffic down 55 into South Haven. 240 moving at the moment. We're keeping an eye on it over here from Mill Branch all the way out to 385 Mill Norris Parkway, especially there as you go outbound on 385. Give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off right now at Zips Car Wash gift cards and wash books. For more information, just log on to their website at zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some more NBA. We spent a lot of the first segment talking about the Grizzlies, but we got to talk it some more, talk everything else going on in the NBA, and we do it every single week with Keith Smith.
Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show, and on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Smith joins us now to talk the NBA from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. And Keith, I know you were watching that Grizzlies game last night against the Boston Celtics. It was miserable to watch, watching from the Grizzlies' perspective. What did you see from the Grizzlies last night, and what have you seen really over these last couple of games? It just feels like it keeps getting worse.
Yeah, last night felt like kind of a team that just didn't really have their heart in playing the game last night. And when you don't have Ja Morant, and I know there's all the issues going on with him, obviously, but when you don't even have your floor leader on the floor and you don't have real backup ball handlers, it's tough. And Boston basically said, all right, we're gonna put ball pressure on them right away. We're gonna get out. We're gonna make it hard for them to kind of get the ball moving around. And they had a hard time. And where you really saw was, they made that one run in the second quarter, and they got it close, and then the Celtics put some of their main guys back in. They pushed back hard. They defended really hard, and they separated, and that was it for the Grizzlies. After that point, I think, after halftime, I think they would have been just as good to go back, pack up, and head on to the next destination.
Yeah, Keith, this team is not responding to Tomas Isolo. They're not playing hard for him. They have had their share and then some of injury, and you're right, last night, with the ball handlers, we did throw that in, but Bryant was really being nice when he brought you on. He said we have spent most of the time talking the Grizzlies. I've spent most of the time ripping the ever-living stew out of the Grizzlies. They're not responding to him, and I don't see him making it. And I've tried to look up shortest NBA head coaching tenures, and Jerry Tark, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse. There have been some short ones. Do you think they move off of him soon, quickly, at all?
It's going to be tough. You're going to hit a point where it's either going to be we recommit to the players and we move off of the coach, or they're going to have to say, all right, you know what, we believe in the coach and we're going to have to move off some of the players. And then that's not saying everybody, but I think it's clear there's a handful of guys that I think are kind of out on him as a coach, and there are certain things that he's trying. It used to be right. There used to be college coaches can't make it in the NBA because it's so different, and now we've seen it kind of turn to when teams try some of the international coaches. It's been really different, and they're really struggling. And I think that's a little bit what we're running into. This idea of I'm going to play these guys in shorter shifts and try to get them to play harder. That sounds great in theory, and I love the idea, but NBA players don't play that way. They're used to playing. I play my 6, 7, 8 minutes to open the game. Then I get my rest. Then I come back in these, I'm going to play them for 4 to 5 minutes and sub kind of constantly. It's just that part's not working. I don't think they've had any buy-in to his offense. It's getting pretty ugly, and I don't think it's going to get much better here anytime soon.
But Keith, if it got to that point, the firing of Tuomas Islo could not be in a vacuum. He didn't hire himself. He didn't become enamored with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies became enamored of him and went out and hired him over a year ago to be in the first seat beside Taylor Jenkins. They hired him. If he's fired, it can't just be one firing, can it? It's got to be Kleiman and maybe others, shouldn't it?
Hey, yeah, you're gonna have to start to look in that direction. And you guys know we've been, talking every week for years now. I never champion for anyone to get fired. It's really hard to get one of these jobs, and I want everybody to do well in them. But you hit a point where I think what happened with the Grizzlies goes beyond just coaching changes. I have said for a while, I think they were overly precious with their own young players to the point where by the time they did finally move some of them, they moved them when there was minimal to no value left with some of these guys, and that was a challenge. So those are things where I think they're going to have to look. And if your ownership and this really starts to go sideways, I think they're going to have to kind of own, all right, just changing the coach probably isn't going to change anything. It didn't change it for us towards the end of last season. It's probably not changing anything now. And then you have to start to look, all right, are we going to give this group in the front office the opportunity to rebuild this team by changing the coach and maybe moving some of the players, or do we just want to have a whole new fresh start? And it might just be time for a fresh start. You eventually hit that point, whether it be players, coaches, or front office, where they've just kind of lost it in that location, and a change of scenery is best for everyone involved.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. One of the bright spots with this Grizzlies team, we've talked about it with you kind of every time you join us because it is a lot of bad, but Cedric Howard has played well. Wasn't his best game last night, 3 for 12 from the field, but you saw with that lack of point guard, lead guard presence because of the injuries, you kind of saw him as more of a ball handler last night. Is that something that you think he could maybe add to his game and kind of maybe be an additional ball handler in the next couple of years for this Grizzlies team?
I think so. You just got to be careful with it, right? We saw this with Cooper Flag.
Yep.
The Mavs were like, we're going to put it all on you right out of the gate, and it went so messy that it was like, all right, we got to change some things, right? Like, this is not going how we want it to go. So I think we're in a position where, yeah, what you want to do is rather than say, all right, you're going to do this now, it becomes more of a, all right, let's try to, let's pick up the reps a little bit. We'll run some sets that are designed for Cedric Howard versus like a game like last night. You could have very easily said, all right, you're going to start and you're going to run the offense, and it probably doesn't go very well. But if you kind of baby steps, give him some things. Let him kind of let the coaching staff know, hey, this one set I'm really comfortable. It's almost like a quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Where you sit with a quarterback and go through, well, what plays do you like? What do you feel good about? And they'll tell you, let him kind of tell you, yeah, in these sets I feel pretty good because I think it's there. I think he reads the floor very well. I think the skill set is there. I think he can do it, but let's just not put too much on his plate too early.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about the Mavericks with Cooper Flag. Nico Harrison was fired earlier this week from his general manager position. What did you make of that change, and kind of where does this Mavericks team go from here?
Yeah, the first time they should have fired him is when he said, what do you think about trading Luka? Right? You didn't do that. So now it's gone completely the wrong way. And it should be, they had to. I mean, if you watch their last game, which was a tight game, I believe it was a 2-point loss, P.J. Washington shooting free throws, and the chance are, thunderous chance of fire Nico. And this was at the end of the game to tie the game. Like, you just can't have that, right? That can't be, where you're at. You needed to be ready to move on, and they did. And now you can start the process of, all right, we can go. Whoever comes in next. He doesn't have an attachment to Anthony Davis because he didn't trade for him, right? So if you think the best thing to do is move Anthony Davis, he's not stuck by, well, what'd you trade for him in the first place for? They have to really decide from now forward, it is about building around Cooper Flag. That is what we are doing. We are going to make sure everything we do, every move we need to make sure we get the most out of having Cooper Flag, because you screwed it up with the last generational prospect you had. You need to get it right with this one. Otherwise, guess what? pretty soon it's going to be a whole lot worse than fire Nico chance there, because we're going to be screaming and yelling about sell the team and everything else.
Keith, how do teams get in this spot? The Grizzlies are in a very vulnerable spot on potential return for Ja and Jaren, and the Mavericks are in the same thing with Anthony Davis and his injury propensity.
Yeah, it's really hard to admit that you're not, like, that the guys are not what you thought they were, and you're not going to go where maybe you thought you would go with those guys. Like, that's very difficult. And I think that is, it's the teams that kind of have the courage to say, all right, you know what, this guy is good, but he's not quite good enough to get us where we want to be, and we're going to move early. It's, the kind of the old saying of it's better to move a little early, a year early than a year too late. And, if you wait a little too long, next thing you know is all of a sudden, now the guy has no real value left, and now you're in all kinds of trouble. And that's where you got to be really, really careful. I think it's just, it's hard when you built it together, especially like the Grizzlies. We built it. We watched it grow. It was really close for a couple of years of being something special. And to kind of have to admit now, yeah, we're not going to be there. It's not going to be that. That's really hard to kind of pull the plug on and say, all right, it's time to start resetting this thing in a bigger way than just, all right, we're going to move Desmond Bane. You start talking about moving John Morant. That's like, all right, we're calling it what it is. We're hitting a full rebuild here.
Definitely. Talking to Keith Smith, he joins us every week to talk the NBA. And Keith, I wrote this down earlier this week so that I could ask you about it. I was watching the Hawks and the Clippers game. I think that was maybe Monday night. And Kristaps Porzingis, his passing this season has been really, really good. He's averaging 3.7 assists for the year, which is way higher than any of his previous seasons. This month, he's averaging 4.2 assists. Had 6 assists in the most recent game against Sacramento. 4 in that game against the Clippers, and it's not just it's kind of right place, right time. It feels like this is kind of schematically him getting him the ball and then having him be more of a facilitator. We've seen other teams that have really good passing big men do this. Do you think that the Hawks are trying to get that same thing out of Kristaps Porzingis?
Yeah, I do. I think what's happened with him and with the Hawks is, I think the Hawks saw it when he was with the Celtics. All right, this guy can kind of do some stuff with moving, getting the ball cycling and moving it as a short roll passer, making plays in the passing game, and not just being a designated spot-up shooter, a designated lob catcher, and those kind of things. I think they really did realize, like, all right, there is some extra stuff here that this guy can do, and I think that puts them in a position where it is, all right, we feel better about kind of, putting the ball in his hands. And in addition, they need to, because they don't have Trae Young. And Trae Young has been, everything is orbited around Trae Young for so many years in Atlanta that when you have to make a change to your team, it can be really hard. So with that, it becomes, all right, well, you know what, we're going to put the ball in Porzingis' hands. They run a lot through Jalen Johnson right now. Dyson Daniels is going to do stuff. It's really become playmaking by committee there in Atlanta.
Yeah, it absolutely has been. And I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, man, this is good stuff from Kristaps, and I hope they continue working through him. But Keith, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll do it again next Thursday.
And good luck with the soccer today.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah, season kickoff today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. Keith Smith joining us to talk the NBA and a lot of really good things, as always, with Keith Smith.
And a lot of fun to visit. And he's right about those organizational meetings. I think it's the hard. I can't imagine how difficult around sports when you have that meeting and you have to really be honest. Mm-hmm. What do we have in this player? What do we? If it's a football coaching room, defensive backs coach, tell me where we're strong and where we're not. Well, coach, we're not. Well, then the coach says, you recruited the defensive backs, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a lot easier to
you
be
coach
positive.
them, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, look, being positive, trying to see the best is always easier. It's a lot harder to have those real conversations about,
Tell me where it hurts.
We're really bad. We're not in a good spot right now, and unfortunately, there's a couple teams that have to have those type of conversations.
I have zero way of proving this. I have no proof. It's pure speculation, supposition on my part. I would bet anything, though. Wexler and Kleiman are telling Para, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would not surprise me.
Stay the course.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yes, this is all part of the plan.
Keep bankrolling this team and some of our folly.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that would not surprise me at all. Of kind of, this is all part of the plan. It's all gonna just wait till you see the end product. That would not surprise me at all.
Tomorrow afternoon at 5, Jason Munns will join us from the Commercial Appeal, and that's presented to you every Friday during college basketball season by Jim's Place Grill. And you want to have a fun Thursday night, go out there to watch all the games that are on TV. Over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks, over 100 years of celebration, family time, and lasting memories. And right now, I know a lot of places are thinking about the perfect place to have that holiday get-together for Thanksgiving, but more importantly for the Christmas holiday season, for office get-togethers, with clients, with customers, with friends. That's the place to do it. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the E in grill, with recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee, where every steak grill perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's and taste and see and feel the difference. Lunch hours Monday through Friday, 11 a to 2 p.m. Dinner hours Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Since 1921, a Memphis landmark, a staple, hard work, values, and a dedication. They're very important diners. The Terrace family, they've created that memorable dining experience at lunch. The staples like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, the crab cakes, those salad dressings, all homemade. And try the cheeseburger. At dinner time, the calamari, soup, seafood, and the steaks, ribeyes, fillets, and strips in that great bar area that you can enjoy, all at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville.
Well, let's get to another break. When we return, we're going to talk more about the Grizzlies, that game last night, and what's coming up. Another tough matchup on the road against Cleveland. We'll talk all that next on Sports Time.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Running a business is hard enough, but cleaning a business? Your time's too valuable for that. You need High-Low Commercial Services, dedicated professional cleaners with 15 years of cleaning experience. High-Low customizes your cleaning needs, and you get the JRD guarantee. We clean until you're satisfied. Shopping center, retail spaces, medical, legal offices, High-Low cleans it all. Visit MrCleanTeam.com. That is MrCleanTeam, MrCleanTeam.com for High-Low Commercial Services.
Small business owners, we know tackling your to-do list can sometimes feel like going 12 rounds against a heavyweight champ. Except that heavyweight's gloves are made of something hard, like diamonds. So when a new to-do pops up, you're like, I can't. I'm boxing my diamond boxing glove-wearing heavyweight champ of a to-do list. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy with over 30 customizable coverage options, so you can finally land a knockout blow. See if you can save on business insurance in as little as 6 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. With over 175,000 cars served in our drive-thru, 4,000 online pickup orders, and 1,500 party packs delivered to offices and events every year, Corky's is your trusted go-to barbecue for parties. Our party packs start at just $6.99 per person. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 meat combos, pick your favorite sides, and as you know, Corky's always gives you plenty of food, so you never worry about running out. Whether it's pickup or delivery, we've got you covered. Corky's makes it easy to impress your guests. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to order for your next gathering today.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down number 1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you've paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Witten Road.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, we talked a lot about the loss last night, 131-95.
And we've taken it so well, haven't we?
Well, we have taken it as well as you can take it, I think, Brett. But if you want it to be worse, I guess you look up and you're 4-9 and you're still on the road. And look, you get Cleveland and San Antonio, your next 2 games on the road, which both those teams have been awesome to start the season. And San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama, I don't know how you stop him, and I certainly don't know how the Grizzlies are going to stop him.
I don't know how. I don't know how in either one with this roster and the injuries and the attitude and the coaching, you can expect wins.
No, I really don't think you can. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be really tough.
Not very much fun. Not expecting to win.
No, it's not. It's a lot different, and it is. No, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Winning is cures a lot, and it's a lot of fun, and they're not doing any of that.
And it's going to be interesting times at the building, starting a week from tonight against Sacramento.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing exactly what it's like.
Yeah, and I mean that's going to be one that I don't know what to expect.
And I know there are a lot of people that don't like any criticism of the Grizzlies, and there hadn't been a lot through the years. There hadn't been, and most of it, even when warranted, was on the lighter side.
Sure.
But now with these 2 players that should be in the prime of their careers, 2 star players that we saw grow, and everybody patient with their young, very young, coming up together, and now in these prime years, you're getting this.
Yeah, and I don't remember what game it was on that homestand, but we were talking about, the possibility of boo birds, and I think someone texted you and said there was some booing at that game. I don't remember which game it was.
That Friday night game, Halloween game.
Okay, yes. Was it the Halloween game against LA?
Was it?
I thought it was more recent, but maybe it was that game against LA, because I thought it was after
that was the checkout game.
That was the checkout game, but I thought it was more recent, kind of with everything going on. But if there was a little bit of booing then, I mean, if you return with 4 straight losses on that road trip and lost however many of your last however many, you could see a turn inside FedEx Forum in that game against Sacramento.
And I know, like I said, I know a lot of people don't like any criticism of the Grizzlies, and they have really been coddled. And you even get this when I don't say anything, because that might make them leave. Brian, I swear, the first text we get is the media that made them think about not having the arena deal, or it's somehow the media's fault. The Grizzlies have been treated grandly since they've been here.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's definitely not the media's fault for anything that happens with anything. I mean, they're going to make their decisions based on other more important things than what the media is saying about them, I would hope.
I mean, even the criticism of when they fired the only coach to take them to the Western Conference Finals ever, Lionel Hollins, and then fired the winningest head coach ever, Taylor Jenkins. it was mild response by the media.
Yeah, no,
very tepid.
Yeah, I think it's been a very cozy kind of media with the Grizzlies team.
The Grizzlies almost get treated like kind of reshaping Overton Park. You know, the remodel and the rebuild of Overton Park, or saving the Pink Palace or something.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But yeah, I don't know what to expect these next couple of weeks, especially when you return home. And Brett, you kind of put that on my radar. I kind of hadn't really thought about when they return home against Sacramento and what that building could look like. So time will tell, I guess, and we'll see what they're doing. We got a text earlier when we were talking about the Grizzlies. Didn't have time to read it. Grizzly Steve texted in and said the coach has got to go, not Ja. He just refuses to adjust. Got to put Ja in the pick and roll. I wanted to bring this up because I do think he brings up a good point about the pick and roll this year with Jock Landale, which I think Jock has been fine for what.
Who Jock's in there fighting, isn't he?
He's in there fighting, and kind of that guy that
skills are limited.
Yeah, but that last guy you add to the roster, you just need a body out there. I think he's been pretty good. But man, a lot of times
this ain't no Jock.
No. But a lot of times when he goes up there to set that pick and roll, oh boy, it is a weak pick, and it's not really stopping anybody. So I agree with that. The pick and roll has not been great this year.
Yeah, that ain't Tim Duncan.
No, it certainly is not. And maybe that's something when we talk about things improving with Zach Edey, I think that could really improve.
But Brian, what did we really expect out of Jock Landale?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, for what he was brought in to do, I think he's been fine. He was just kind of that last guy. You got all these injuries. You just got to have somebody out there.
And you know the texture. Nobody's picking on Jock Landale.
No, I like
and they sure shouldn't. It starts with Ja and Jaren.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, because of the slump that John Moran is in, and just the history of him not being a great three-point shooter, not only is the pick or the pick's not stopping anybody, but they're just kind of sitting back on the screen and saying if Ja's going to shoot off of this screen, we'll live with him shooting a three off this screen.
Fire away.
And then it's just.
And then up goes the medicine ball.
Sure.
Clank.
I'd like to see them, find a way to adjust in the way that teams are defending Ja, and especially how teams are defending the pick and roll. But right now you're not seeing a lot of that, and I don't know.
And you're even hearing let Ja be Ja and let him try to posterize everybody. Okay, you want to miss that 40 games? Let him do that and get hurt again, and he will.
And that's the problem. I mean, at that size,
6 foot, 170.
Yeah, it's just the physics of that tell me that it's not gonna end up well. And the history has told us it does not.
On another one of our shows, I heard somebody call him 5'10". He's not 5'10".
No. He's a little taller than that, but he's not very big. Which is a problem when you're trying to dunk on everybody. But let's go ahead and wrap up this first hour, get to another break, and when we return, we're going to talk some college football. Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He joins us next.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant objective feedback with hands-on one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation size courts, 3 high school size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
The weekend is almost here, and the Hustle Hoedown is on at the Landers Center when the Memphis Hustle hosts the Austin Spurs and NBA G League action. Be there for the country-themed night Saturday at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets today at memphishustle.com.
Billions. At NST Law, we're talking billions and billions.
Corey, call on line 3.
We're talking billions. At NST Law, we've won billions of dollars for our injured clients. And there's billions more out there, a whole galaxy of cases to win. NST's the way to go.
MSD is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Corey.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's just that time of day for it to get busy through Midtown. And that's what's happening over here with more volume in the last few minutes. 240 south, down past Norris. The further south you go now, you could see some radar. It's been on and off today down there in parts of DeSoto County through Hernando on 55 with some radar. Again, just be careful. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your full-service family-owned jewelry store. Shop this holiday season and save at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some college football. Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He joins us now. Pat, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to, but let's start with another ranking out from the college football playoffs. Any overreaction, any issues with what we saw Tuesday night?
No, not at all. Again, always wonderful to be on in Memphis with you guys talking ball. No, not really. Not a lot of heartburn yet. Obviously, the heartburn has to do with Mac Rhodes, who had to step aside as the chairperson, and now Hunter Yurachek from right across the river there in Arkansas. He's now in charge of the CFP, so that's going to be interesting because we all know he's going to have to recuse himself an awful lot based on the fact that we've got, maybe 6 teams knocking on the door to the CFP.
And that recusal process, Pat, I said it when it was formed, the SEC rep was going to be out in the hall more than he's going to be in the meeting. not the entire sport is centered around the SEC, but about 60% of it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially this year, you know, I mean, granted, last year would have been controversial because you had Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Bama knocking on the door, but my goodness gracious, because you're already hearing it. We had a guy on from Austin, Texas this afternoon, Brett, right after you were on the program with us, and I asked him the question. I said, is this make or break for Texas? Like, if Texas loses to either Georgia or their final game of the year against Texas A&M, do you think a 3-loss Texas team is still in the mix for the college football playoff? Those people in the Lone Star State, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we're still in it, which kind of blows the mind, but it kind of puts that into the question you just asked, because the SEC is going to be heavily loaded even with those 3-loss teams if we get there. So, yeah, this is going to be fascinating to see how the committee views any of the three-loss teams, especially from the SEC.
And, Pat, I think I agree with that person talking about Texas. I think a 3-loss Texas should be prominently in the conversation, if not definitely in the bracket, just as I thought last year one of the three-loss teams should have been last year. You got to look at who they played. I know 11-2 is more than 9-3, but I know who the 11-2 was against.
Yeah. Yeah, and not to mention the fact that we heard all of this leading up to the rankings, that it was going to be about the strength of schedule, right? That there was going to be more emphasis on the strength of schedule. Well, with that being said, why is it Ohio State is ranked number 1? They have the 41st toughest schedule in college football. Indiana's number 2. They've got the 33rd toughest. Meanwhile, A&M's got the 15th toughest. They're undefeated, but they're ranked 3rd. And Bama's got the 6th toughest. They're at 4. And then Georgia has got the 11th toughest, and they come in at number 5. I think there needs to be a little bit of working there if you're gonna put all that on a strength of schedule. I think A&M's getting screwed right now, boys, in regards to Ohio State and Indiana getting that love over an SEC team.
And Pat, I like the correlation, or rather the comparison on strength of schedule. I like to ask somebody when they want to be dismissive of the SEC schedule, as opposed to SMU last year. That's who I'm talking about. So I'll call names. Look, if you play golf, you know there's a difference between playing Marion and Oakmont and Augusta National and Pebble Beach than playing Goat Ranch Public Course.
No, you're absolutely right. And listen, the Big Ten, they've got no leg to stand on this year. Absolutely none. Because when you look at the bottom half of that league and how bad and poor they are performing, there's not one single metric that you can put up there and talk about, well, you know, you got wins against Auburn or you got wins against Arkansas. That's pale in comparison when you throw up the bottom barrel of the Big Ten right now in regards to what you see, especially from Purdue and the likes of that. So, yeah, there's not a lot of conversation that you can have in the years past when they're beating their chest. Granted, Ohio State might win the national championship again, and they can beat their chest and say they're the best in the land. Yeah. But if you look from 1 through 18 in the Big Ten, and you look 1 through 16 in the SEC, it is no comparison whatsoever. The SEC warps them every single time.
One more golf comparison, I promise I'll stop. It's every golfer that legitimately plays and legitimately turns in scores for their handicap. Every single person, you can get around any golfer and they'll say, you know, my home scores are always better than when I go somewhere else and play. My handicap really doesn't translate. Yeah, because you're in a cozy little cocoon playing at that course that you're used to. You don't even need the yardage book there. You know, this is my 9-iron shot from right here. You go off and you play it somewhere tougher, and then my 9-iron really didn't work from there.
Exactly. And here's another thing. Let's take Indiana, all right? Indiana, great team. I think they're a very good team. What they did at Penn State, they should have never been in that situation to come from behind at the very end of the game against that Penn State team, but it happened. When you look at the totality of their schedule, guys, they are sitting there right now at 16-26. That is their opponents in the Big Ten Conference. And guess the last 2 games of the season, they play Wisconsin, who is 1-5, and Purdue, that is 0-7. So that's collectively 1-12. Yes, 1-12, along with their 16-26. So that comes to what? 17-38 record against conference opponents. That is your Indiana Hoosiers.
That is insane. Purdue basketball school, then. They got a big one tonight down in your neck of the woods there, Pat.
And the Purdue IU game, that's the old Oaken bucket, man. Throw the record books out.
Yeah, you absolutely got it.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, a lot of folks in Tuscaloosa tonight will be paying close attention to that matchup against the Boilermakers.
They really will be.
Pat, did the hotel people in Tuscaloosa, did they have the rare 3-night minimum with the basketball game?
Well, you know what? If you said that loud enough, Brett, I'm sure they did it. Because
$800 a night for what's next weekend will be $78.
Great.
I mean, it is unbelievable what they do on game weekends in Tuscaloosa. And let me tell you something. There's already a lot of Oklahoma people that have already made the trip down here. I was in that stadium back in 2003 when the number one Oklahoma team came in, and Mike Shula and the Tide almost took care of business, and Oklahoma pulled out the win 20-13. But I think it's going to be another close one this weekend, guys. And if Alabama can get past them this weekend, they're sitting pretty for the rest of the season.
Remember one of the key plays late in that game, perfect timing. Bama tries the fake punt, and it would have opened the game. It would have blown the game open. And I mean, by a fingernail, the OU defender stayed at home and tipped the pass, and OU put it right in for the touchdown. I was there that night, and that was, well, I guess 2005 was the high point of Mike Shula's years at Alabama, but that did it. And you know the answer to this. All those hotels and all those $800 a night in Tuscaloosa, we know who built them. Nicholas Lou Saban.
There's no doubt about that. And talking about that history with Oklahoma, the year before, Dennis Franchione was the head coach of Alabama, and they played in Norman, and they had an onside kick that if it had gone Alabama's way, they could have upset Oklahoma. So it was back-to-back years in which Bama's special teams tried a little trickeration, and it didn't work out because it could have changed the complexion, not only of the game, but who knows, could have changed maybe the complexion of what would have happened in the future with Dennis Franchione in Tuscaloosa and Mike Shula there.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat, you were talking about Texas A&M, 9-0 on the season, only 3 games remaining. One of those 3 is against an FCS opponent in Samford. It feels like all season we've been talking about at some point this Texas A&M team is going to do what Texas A&M does every single year. Or could they go? I mean, I'll ask you right now, do they finish the regular season undefeated?
I think it's going to be very difficult, especially with the drama that is going to be going into Austin, Texas for the first time in a number of years, and with so much on the line, especially with them potentially being undefeated. We do not know yet, obviously, what the psyche will be with the Texas Longhorns. Yeah, they're going to want to win the game because it's their hated rival. But at that point in time, are we talking about a 3-loss Texas team that's on fumes in the Southeastern Conference and the college football playoff race? What's the health of Arch Manning after you get through playing a tough game like Georgia? So a lot is going to be determined, but I do think they can go undefeated in the regular season. I think they're that good. But let's also, if I'm going to throw shade at Indiana, I'm going to throw a little bit at Texas A&M. And the reason why, I know you can only play the games that's on your schedule, but my goodness gracious, they don't have to play Georgia. They don't have to play Alabama. They don't have to play Ole Miss. That's 3 of the upper tier teams in the conference this year. So they're like, they're getting a lot of wins. Once again, teams that's on their schedule, they have no control over that. But it's just the fact that when you look at how strong this team really is, you just kind of have to wonder, are we going to expect that November swoon that we typically get from Texas A&M? It just might not come until that final game and perhaps in the SEC championship.
Pat, what's the biggest difference in Bama this year compared to last year?
It's something that you probably don't see on the field, but you might see on the sideline. To me, it's confidence. You're seeing a coaching staff that they are coaching like this is not their first rodeo. And I think a lot has to go with the fact that Ryan Grubb came back as offensive coordinator. And you look at the history of Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, the success that they've had as a tandem, it is unbelievable. And being able to have that safety net back in Tuscaloosa. And let's just be honest, they now got a quarterback that is running their system. They're running what you saw Michael Penix run when they got to play for the national championship against Michigan a couple of years ago from Washington. This is the type of offense. They had inherited just an incredible athlete, but he was not the quarterback in Jalen Milroe. He was not the guy that was going to be able to technically run the type of stuff that Kalen DeBoer wanted to run. It's not a shot at Jalen. It's not a shot at DeBoer. It's just certain things just aren't married together, and that was not going to be a good marriage. Not that there was anything off the field. I'm just talking about pure schematics and what you want to do. Mm-hmm. This year, you've got a guy that is executing at the highest level possible. That's what you're seeing differently in this team.
That's it. Ty Simpson, he's winning games for Alabama, and he's not beating Alabama. Milroe did both.
Absolutely. No, it was kind of like in the days, as you remember, it was bad Bo Wallace and good Bo Wallace. When there was a good Bo Wallace, there weren't a lot of people in the country that could beat Ole Miss. Well, that was Jalen Milroe. When Jalen Milroe was at his very best, he was a Heisman Trophy contender. But if he wasn't, he was a turnover machine, and he could make a bad Oklahoma team last year look like they should be in the CFP. So having Ty Simpson perform at the level that he's performing, having an offensive coordinator that is ingenious with his play calls, his schematics, and what he does to get the ball in the right people's hands, that's been the biggest difference in this year's Tide team than last.
Pat, Florida thinks they have Lane Kiffin, don't they?
What is going on? You know, I was going to ask you because, and I know we're on the air, but all of a sudden this afternoon I started seeing all this social media buzz that like the worm had turned or whatever the case may be about Lane Kiffin going to Florida. And let me tell you something. I'm not Jimmy Sexton. I'm not Lane Kiffin. But if I have the opportunity to be at Ole Miss, LSU, or Gainesville, Florida, I'm staying right there in Oxford, Mississippi. He's gotten everything that you could possibly want. You're about to be in the college football playoff and a chance to play for the national championship. Why would you want to go to the swamp, or why would you want to go deal with the governor of Louisiana? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. So unless you're going to tell me something different, I just think that this is a bunch of internet fodder that folks in Florida have decided we're just going to try to stir the pot as much as we can.
I think they're trying to talk it into existence. And this today really was one of the seminal days in the whole Willie or won't he, is he gone? Florida, they're convinced today that they're going to get him, which makes for good fun Saturday with the Gators in Oxford and with along the lines of what you were talking about. I know nobody does this anymore. And Pat, there used to be a time when we'd get to our seat and look at the flip chart and you see the two deep on offense and defense. I would always kind of count, well, who's coming back next year? Can this team be anything for next year? Nobody. I don't do it anymore. Nobody does it anymore because next year's already kind of a full reboot, restart for everybody. But if little kid word, if Lane Kiffin is back at Ole Miss next year and he keeps the nucleus of this team, he's got a chance next year to have his best team ever, starting with the defensive line and the offensive line that he's got returning for next year. And you know he'll go hit in the portal. He can do it. Everybody called last year the last dance, and that was really for Dart and Prescorn and a few others, J.J. Pegues. But next year, if he's back, could be his best team at Ole Miss.
And not to mention the fact that all those people that you just mentioned are probably going to be given some nice raises. And when we got to talk about this, like the NFL, because Ole Miss is going to get in the college football playoff, which means the coffers are going to be filled. So even after you give Lane Kiffin a nice increase and the salary pool for his coaching staff gets a little bit of bump, that's going to go down to the players, and the players are going to get theirs, and that's good for the players. So, again, I'm perplexed by all this. I can just tell you that based on the people that I talked to from both Florida and LSU, I know they are very confident that Lane at the end of the day is going to be able to choose between those two. But I think at the end of the day, my personal opinion, I just don't find it necessary for Lane Kiffin in this new age of college football to leave Oxford in a place where it seems like his life is as happy as he's been in a very long time, and he has a really good football team.
Because look how LSU did the coach that broke Newt Rockney's record at Notre Dame. They bring him to the South. Look how they did him. Look how they did the guy before that won them a national championship. And he looked like them and talked like them and was one of them. Yeah. And they still told Eddie O to hit the road. And Florida, over the last 60 years, they've had two hits. They've had two hits, Steve Spurrier and Urban Meyer. Tell me the rest of them. The rest of the hits look like the B-side for Grand Funk Railroad's albums.
Oh, yeah, no, you're talking Ron Zook and Jim McElwain and Dan Mullen. Now, trust me, I lived it with you, brother. I know exactly what you're talking
Will
about.
Muschamp.
And don't forget, back to LSU, that they basically did the same thing to Les Miles that they ultimately did to Ed Orgeron, but Les Miles actually took less of the buyout because of those NCAA issues, and then he ended up going to Kansas and flamed out with with the former Arkansas AD Jeff Long when he was there for a cup of coffee. So yeah, it's perplexing. Yeah. I mean that was quite an ending for both of them.
Yeah.
Jeff Long and Les Miles. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What could go wrong? Speaking of the coaching carousel, what do you make of what's going on at Arkansas? It feels like over the last week or so, James Franklin, a lot of people have pushed for that, and it sounds like maybe he is now number one on their list. You look at all these kind of odds and stuff, it's really shifted from a couple other coaches in the mix to now it's pretty much all in on James Franklin. What do you make of that situation?
Well, it's interesting for James Franklin because I think James Franklin is going to have multiple options. You know, he hired Jimmy Sexton, I believe it was back in the summertime, which was very smart to make sure that he got that big buyout from Penn State. I think
I think a little bit before that. I think he's been with Jimmy longer than that, Pat.
Okay. So I think he's got on paper right now, ready to sign, is a deal at Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. Now, Virginia Tech, they're ready to pivot if something does not get done by this weekend. I was told that that they're going to pivot to the head coach at James Madison. So that leaves the question. All right, does that mean that he prefers a potential Arkansas job over Virginia Tech? Could he be in the mix at Florida if Florida doesn't go big game hunting and get the person that they're telling people privately that they're going to still go after and get? I think he's got some serious options here. Now, the question is, now that Hunter Yurachek is in charge of the College Football Playoff Committee, is that going to take his eye off the ball, so to speak? Does that mean that James Franklin is going to look at these other offers? It's an interesting time for James Franklin, but I think he's got his choice of jobs. I firmly believe he will be coaching next year. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the SEC with Arkansas. It might end up being there in Blacksburg.
Pat, do you think they do? Do you think they should? Whether it's Greg Sankey or the lieutenants or both in the SEC office, conference call with Hunter Yurachek. Hunter, you're the new CFP chair. You get in that room and you fight like, you know what, for the SEC teams. We want 6 in there. You get in there and fight hard. Do you think they do or should?
I think they should. Do I think he will in his own specific kind of Hunter Yurachek way? Yeah, I think he will. Because at the end of the day, whether you were in Destin, Florida at spring meetings and you got the packet in which Greg Sankey laid out all the wonderful things about the football played in the Southeastern Conference and why those teams should have been in the CFP last year, to what the CFP actually did by changing their policies before the season started. I mean, if there's ever a time for the SEC to jump on that stump and crow as loud as it possibly can, now is the time to do so. And yes, they should. And Yurachek should remind everybody, we've got 6 teams, legitimate 6 teams that should be in the college football playoff. If he's not doing it, then he needs to be off the committee and out of there because he's not doing what needs to be done for this conference.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, Pat, the 2 big games in the SEC this weekend, I guess the 2 biggest games in the SEC this weekend. What do you expect from Oklahoma, Alabama, and then the nightcap with Texas and Georgia?
Alabama's been playing with fire, guys. You've seen it against South Carolina. You saw it a little bit with LSU. I think Alabama and Oklahoma, that is going to be just an absolute defensive dogfight between the 2 teams. I think it's going to come down to a last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown. I think Bama, because they've got the big winning streak, they've won 43 out of their last 45 at Bryant-Denny Stadium, 17 in a row. DeBoer's never lost there. I like Bama in a close one. Meanwhile, Texas, between the hedges, I just can't go against Kirby inside that building. I know Bama got him earlier. I just can't see Texas doing that. I think that's going to be also a low-scoring game, but give me the Dogs in that one.
I like it. Pat, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Sounds good, boys. Have a good weekend.
Right back at
you. Bet. Thank you, Pat. Pat Smith with us from Jocks down in Birmingham. And that is a big basketball game tonight.
Yeah, it is.
In college football title town.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's going to be a really good one. I'm excited. Alabama looked awesome over the weekend against St. John's. It was a shock to see a Rick Pitino team give up over 100 points, and this Purdue team, preseason number 1, they've got one of their All-Americans back in Trey Kaufman-Renn. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see that one tonight.
I've never known one, but it's got to be one out there that's basketball first at Alabama over football. Do you think anybody would admit that, though?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I would guess there's some.
It's got to be one, doesn't it?
There's got to be, but you definitely don't admit it.
So let's play along and say there's one.
Yeah,
and a week ago he or she called to get that room for tonight in Tuscaloosa. That again, normally $85, $125, $200. Yes, but because it's leading into a football weekend against Oklahoma, $800.
Oh man, it'd be brutal.
It really would be.
Oh, I'd hate it for that.
Supply and demand, isn't it?
Hopefully that one Alabama basketball first fan out there found somewhere to stay.
The hotel people in the SEC really cashed into the supply and demand.
They love football.
We got the rooms, and we know you need them.
That's right. And nothing better than football season.
They do. We love Landers Ford in Collierville, the number 1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. Landers Ford, your trusted destination for a vehicle that fits any lifestyle. Don't pay too much for your next vehicle. Upgrade right now with the Black Friday savings all month long at Landers Ford in Collierville, the number 1 Ford dealer in the greater Memphis area. New 2025 Ford F-150s, $11,850 off MSRP. You heard that right. New 2025 Ford F-150, $11,850 off MSRP. That's almost $12,000. Plus low APR financing available. If you're looking for even more, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Bring it to Landers Ford and find out how much yours is worth, or get started right now online with Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. The Black Friday savings are big. The best part, the price you see is the price you pay. No fine print, no hidden addendums, no games. That's the Landers Ford difference. Oil changes, tires rotated, go online and schedule when it suits you the best. It'll be done quickly to meet your very busy schedule. Landers Ford, active in our community in Collierville at 2082 West Poplar Ave, or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Well, we need to get to another break. When we return, it'll be time for another edition of 4 Downs. Brett has our questions today, so excited to get to that. So let's go ahead, get to this break. 4 Downs coming your way next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Looking for the best prices on shirts, jeans, boots, and more? Frontier Western Store has you covered. At Frontier, you'll always find amazing deals on everything in the store. Unlike online and chain stores that run occasional sales, Frontier keeps prices low every single day, so you get the best deal whenever you shop. Be ready for winter with a full line of outerwear by Ariat and Carhartt. Beanies and coats galore, and then there's Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Come shop new styles by Ariat, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, Frontier is the place. See thousands of boots by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and many more with daily arrivals. And Frontier makes Christmas shopping easy because everyone loves to see a new pair of boots under the tree. For the lowest prices every day, visit Frontier Western Store at 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and at FrontierWesternStore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Here's what sets NST Law apart. They don't just work in Memphis, they ride for Memphis. From school fundraisers to courtroom battles, they show up where it matters. And when someone in this city gets hurt, NST goes toe-to-toe with insurance giants. No fear, no favors. It's not just the law to them, it's loyalty. And if you ever need backup after a crash, NST's got your back. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or check out nstlaw.com.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. AFC East action kicks off Week 11 in Foxborough when the 8-2 Patriots host the New York Jets. New England leads the division thanks to 7 straight wins. Now they take on a Jets team coming off back-to-back wins of their own. Tom McCarthy and Devin McCourty will call the action of the Jets at the Pats on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Busier than it was 15-20 minutes ago with that volume over here on 240 East up by Poplar Walnut Grove. That shouldn't surprise you too much, especially for this time of the afternoon. Now, it's building through Midtown, just in a couple of spots. I-40 looks like it got heavier up by Chelsea a few minutes ago as you work your way on I-40 up towards the 101 connector. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Right now, you can save up to 30% off Zips Car Wash, gift cards, and wash books. Check them out for a location near you. There's several here in Memphis at zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids think.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we gotta ask the hard-hitting questions. 4 downs. Brett has the questions today, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get some four downs.
Let's go. It's going to be tough.
All right, let's do it.
Starting with first down, and this is no easy opening dive play on first down.
Okay.
This is really tough stuff. Strictly prohibited. You cannot use the word disappointed.
Okay.
It cannot be used.
Okay.
How would you describe this Tiger football season?
Wow, that is a tough question. I need to get my my dictionary out, thesaurus or something.
I'll go ahead and take it off.
All right, please.
I would say failing to meet this year's expectations.
That's more than one word.
It is okay. So, well, I don't want to.
That's okay. I'll go with more than one.
Okay, we'll go with the phrase.
Well, I don't want to say failure. So, I guess expectations.
It is not a failure.
No, it's not.
It is not a failure.
But expectations, because I think since Ryan Silverfield has been here, the expectation and the norm for Memphis football has been 10-win seasons. But I think we're past that, and now we want to move to the next stage, which is American Conference Championship. And now the expectation, I believe, going forward is going to be college football playoffs. And with how things are shaping up right now, with how things have shaped up in the past few years, it doesn't look like we're there yet, and we need to get there.
Respectfully, I don't know how and I've done it 2 summers in a row, and I rode the boat hard, didn't I, the last 2 years, and I believed it. I was not pumping sunshine. I wasn't doing it when I get all the motivations. Oh, you're doing it for sales. You're doing it for this. No, I did it because I believed it. I don't know how I can do it again. I don't know how I can go out there next summer or again for a while and talk college football playoffs until I at least see an American championship game appearance.
Yeah, that's very fair.
So, expectations. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Go ahead, Brett.
I get on the Brett text line. A person's one word. Typical.
Well, mine was good. I like typical. That would have been where I need my thesaurus, because mine, I was going to use a phrase and I was going to say more of the same. Yeah, because it's kind of been what it's been the last couple of years of you have
unfulfilling.
Yeah, I don't. The expectations before the season were nowhere near what they were last year, but I think when you have this type of budget and you've had you're picked every year to be at the top of the American, you do expect to be in that conversation.
You always want more. I promise you, there's somebody in the Alabama building.
Sure.
It may not be DeBoer. It may not be Greg Byrne, but there's somebody going, well, I wish if we just had this. I guarantee you they're doing that.
Definitely.
And, of course, at Memphis, somebody's doing that. But compared to the rest of the American, they have it.
That's right, yeah. And so, I mean, I don't want to go out there and say...
Or at least they say they have it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, last year it was everybody was picking Memphis to be in the college football playoffs. This year was a lot less of people picking them to be in there, but I think the expectation was to still be around the top, and then once the season started and you had all that success and you got in that position, it was to go be in that conference championship game, go in and be in the college football playoff, and then the same thing that happens the last year, the year before that, happens again, where you get in these games where you should win and you find ways to lose, and now it's going to be another season where you're not in the conference championship game.
And before anybody texts, I bet you won't say that about Ole Miss. I can guarantee you I will, and did last year.
Yeah, you did, and I know
when
you
I
will.
Called it a failure last year at Ole Miss.
The same thing happens this year. I know you'll do it again.
Second down, if the College Football Playoff Committee this year was 12 at-large teams, this year, I know it's not, but if it was for this year, how many from the SEC should legitimately be in?
So like right now, or is this projecting to the end of the season?
You can project a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go right now. You can project. Just don't use disappointed.
I'm gonna go 5.
That's my number.
I'm with 5.
5.
Yeah.
Well, paid up for life SEC Homer's going to go 6.
Okay, I don't think that's all right. I was in between 5 or 6. So
I'm going to go at A&M, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Vandy. Maybe even OU.
Hey, we're getting close to 7. That's 7 right there.
And maybe 9-3 Tennessee and 9-3 Vandy. If we want the best, and that's what I want. I want meritocracy. I want the best. I don't want participation trophies.
Sure.
I don't want with their people too. And champion of the little guy. I want the best in there. And if a year comes along and the best are out of 12 teams, 7 from the Big Ten and 2 from the Big 12 and 2 from the ACC and 1 from the SEC. Is my math right? 7, 9, 11. It is.
I think you nailed it.
Then, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But we know that won't happen.
No, it won't happen. It definitely won't happen. I go with 5, and I'm very similar with you. Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, And then Oklahoma, that would be my 5. I would not put Texas in it. Maybe that's a little bit of projecting. Maybe it's a little right now. I know they're 7-2 this season, but at what point has it looked good for Texas? I mean, that's 7-2. I forget that they're 7-2 half the time.
And those 2 overtime escapes on the road at not that tough of places to play.
Oh my gosh, no, not at all. And so, if I'm projecting, I think they lose again to Texas A&M at the end of the season, and so that would be 3 losses. I would absolutely have them out at that point. So I'm going to go with 5. And then I tried to kind of keep my bias aside for Vanderbilt, and so I just left them out because I did not want to be labeled a Vandy homer. Anchor down. That's the first time I could say that about an SEC team.
Right.
How about that? That was fun.
That's right. Can you have a nightmare in the daytime?
Yeah.
Daymare.
Daymare? What is a daymare? You're not asleep, you're awake.
Well,
you can
take
the
a
whole
nap in the daytime. I don't know.
The whole disintegration of Mac Rhodes. And what is the deal at Baylor? Man, does Baylor do the scandal? And yes, this is the perfect time for me to get this in. All the scandal at Baylor. Ken Stahl, Art Browse, other ADs, other football coaches. Now another AD.
Basketball in there with a couple.
But one that has never had a fingerprint on any scandal?
I do.
Scott Drew.
I do. Scott Drew.
Who was taken apart by a mean, vicious, whispering and screaming campaign to stop him from getting the Memphis job when John Calipari left, and would not have to gone through these years in the wilderness under Josh Pastner, Tubby Smith, and now Penny. It wouldn't be this long stretch of no Sweet 16 appearances, but some people had to win and sent their toadies out in the media to absolutely disembowel Scott Drew.
Yeah.
And he hadn't had 1 ounce of scandal around him at a place that can't get away from scandal.
It's insane. I mean, the moment you think that, all right, things are going to be going well at Baylor, another scandal.
I would think a lot more of a couple if they would show up at the press conference for Scott Drew when they play the regular season game against Memphis and apologize to him and take that work of garbage that they wrote about him in front of him and apologize to him.
I don't think that's going to happen.
3rd down. W's and L's for OU the rest of the way. They're at Bama, home against Mizzou, and home against LSU.
Yeah, man, this is brutal. I mean, this is I know, even with LSU in a down year, it's still tough. I'll go 2-1 here. I think they lose to Alabama, and then I think they get the win against Missouri. I think they get the win with LSU. I don't know the injury status with Prabula right now, or if he'll be
he's
back.
Done.
Then
No,
so
he's
done. So yeah, then I'm definitely taking them 2-1. They beat Missouri, they beat LSU, they lose to Alabama.
Yeah, I'm right there with them. I go loss, win, win for the rest of the season for Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma
playoffs 9-3.
Yeah,
I would definitely conversation
I think
piece. I think
they should be in there.
Okay, all right, extra 3rd down.
Okay.
Kind of false start. We had to have another play. Notre Dame W's and L's the rest of the way. At Pitt, home against Syracuse, at Stanford.
I'm saying they went out.
I was about to say it should be 3-0.
Yeah, well, they're in the bracket, no doubt.
They're definitely in if they go 3-0.
Go Pitt, go! Any scenario for the SEC to get another team in, we got to get Notre Dame out of there. 4th down. Give me your Heisman Trophy winner this year, Brian.
I mean, I think it's
and
Ty
project
Simpson.
a little.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Ty Simpson. What he has done, with his arm, the lack of interceptions, and really all the success that Alabama has had, and really the way that they have responded after that week 1 against Florida State. He's been a massive reason why we talk about it every single week, Brett. And I think it needs to come into play and be a factor when you talk about Heisman. This Alabama team can't run the ball. We all thought it would get better with Jam Miller returning, and it really hasn't. They've been doing it offensively with that quarterback, with those wide receivers, and so I would go with Ty Simpson.
Landon?
I have. I'm not going to go the Ty Simpson route. My gut wants me to go with Fernando Mendoza, quarterback for Indiana. The year that they've had,
he had some throws against Penn State at the end of that game.
He sure did. What an incredible drive that is! But also
one of those two going to win.
And we might just fill out the entire bracket for top 3 with me mentioning this other guy. But the guy who last year did really, really good, did not get a lot of consideration, coming into this year doing the same thing, I would throw Haynes King into the mix as well. The dude is absolutely a dual threat QB and can run all over the place and has been leading Georgia Tech really, really well. So I would be fine with either of those guys.
Huge for their success.
If it were voting morning, I think I would have Ty Simpson 1, Mendoza 2, and Haynes King 3.
Yeah, top 3, I would say so.
And I didn't get the rest of my daymare.
Okay.
Baylor threw me off.
Yeah.
with Mac Rhodes out at Baylor, the rest of my daymare. Now the chair, Hunter Yurachek, who did an absolute number on Ole Miss last year in that committee room, and I know it for a fact. And now he's the chair, and he's still mad he didn't get Lane Kiffin.
Woo. Yeah.
Ole Miss better win out.
Yeah. Well, Brett, I have. It's been a busy day for me, and so I've been kind of trying to keep up with everything going on with Baylor. I did not know who was stepping in
New chair.
his place.
Hunter Yurachek.
That was news to me when Pat said that, and I about spit my drink out when Pat said that. So yeah. Ooh.
My favorite line of attack from Arkansas fans is, no, Brett. Lane didn't turn Hunter down. He moved away from him. He got scared of him and moved away from him. First of all, that's malarkey. But let's buy it. Let's accept that that's true.
Sure, I'll play.
So he moved away from Lane Kiffin for whatever reason. Yeah. And your answer was Sam Pittman?
Oh, yeah. You gotta have a better B option. You know, you can't go from A to D.
And that kind of sold a little bit in 20 when Pittman beat Lane head-to-head in 20 at Fayetteville. 21, Pittman goes to the Tampa Bowl and beats Penn State. That had a little more resonance then, even for the excuse makers. Yeah. But in the end, that was your plan B.
Yeah. Well, how great of a guy he is, Brett. You forgot to.
That's right.
That in there.
That's right.
He's great guy. But
yeah, we're trying to win over the Civitan Club, I guess.
So, Brett, those are some tough ones today. Man,
you weren't
lying when you said there were going to be some tough.
Even got a false start in there.
Yeah, even got a false start and an extra play in there. Yeah, it's kind of that false start where everybody starts running the play.
Colorado hit 5 downs. Yeah,
something was going on.
That was almost the pitchy throw around play, wasn't it?
It really was. But let's go ahead and get to another break. And when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it. With fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters. 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family. Driven to keep you on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Burr months, and that means even more savings at Family Leisure. Why is this time of the year the best time of the year to shop at Family Leisure? Because Family Leisure has new stuff coming, so they need to make room. Need a cover for your hot tub? How convenient, Family Leisure has them starting at just $249. Need new spa steps or a cover lift? Family Leisure has those as well, starting at just $99. Let's say you don't have a hot tub or you want a new one. Pick yours right now, starting at $24.99. Get your laps in with a swim spa, and prices start at under $15,000. In-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. Plus, if you need special financing, Family Leisure's got you covered. One final thing. Tell the folks at Family Leisure you heard this radio commercial. You get a free gift with a hot tub purchase. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hey everybody, it's time to gobble up the savings. All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch is thankful for all of our customers. Red tags for 0 interest financing are now on every new Silverado and Equinox. And look, your good credit deserves it. All new Chevy Colorados and Equinoxes in stock are now just $100 over invoice. So it's time to gobble up the savings and be in what you really want to drive this Thanksgiving. If you're law enforcement, military, first responder, you get a extra $500 bonus. And Olive Branch is where all the new Chevys are. And it's the only place you can find all the barely driven certified pre-owned Chevys you want. Every pre-owned you could ever want. It's right here in Olive Branch. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy and get the most money for it today. So don't miss the Gobble Up the Savings sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
In dreams, right some death, it seems when she sleeps, she's free.
Big Daddy. Hello, Big Brown.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
What up, big guy? I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number today, very rare that I go this direction for my big number of the day, but we are doing it today. My big number today comes from women's college basketball. I heard the morning guys talk about this morning, and I could not believe it. I had to go look it up, and so it is my big number today. Last night, Notre Dame ranked number 18 in the AP polls. They got an 85-58 win over Akron. In that game, Hannah Hidalgo finished the night with 44 points, 9 rebounds, and 16 steals against Akron in 28 minutes of action. She became the first player in NBA, WNBA, or NCAA history, that including both men's and women's NCAA basketball, at any division to finish a game with 40 or more points and 15 or more steals in a game. How in the world do you allow one single player to have 16 steals in a game? That is, I don't even understand that.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, again, first time in NBA, WNBA, or NCAA history it's happened. So yeah, you haven't heard of that. That's crazy.
I wonder what it topped.
That is a really good question. I do want to know what it topped, but I mean, that just absurd performance, and
really is.
Yeah, that will go down in the record books for sure.
My big number is 4. There are 6 SEC league games on Saturday. 4 of the 6, that's why it's my big number, 4 have met in bowl games in the teams past. The 2 that aren't, State and Mizzou, have never played in a bowl game. I was kind of surprised by that, and a little surprised that South Carolina and A&M have never met in a bowl. Arkansas and LSU have played in 2 Cotton Bowls. Oklahoma and Bama, the Bluebonnet Bowl, my tie game that I love, Sugar Bowl and an Orange Bowl. Ole Miss in Florida, the Gator Bowl, 1958, before winning last year's Gator Bowl. That was Ole Miss's last win in the Gator Bowl.
Wow.
And Texas and Georgia, they've met in the Orange, in the Cotton, and in the Sugar. The Sugar Bowl win was the big Sam Ehlinger, Texas is back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And the night that Bevo tried to impale.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
The dog.
Yeah, almost got after him. Yeah, man. I forgot about that. I remember
who in their right mind, the handlers of Bevo and of Uga, who had the great idea? Let's have the mascots meet.
Yeah, but it's not a good idea. You know,
they're animals.
Let's keep the wild animals away from each other. You know, I know domesticated dog, I understand, but
Bevo about got loose.
Well, and that's the thing, Brett. Especially with those bigger animals. I mean, Bevo is. When that's,
big with horns wins over a little dog.
Brett, and like when you see Bevo out anywhere, it's like 4 guys holding on to him so he doesn't get away or do anything. Why in the world would you bring another animal into that mix? I mean,
Almost like they're going to bring over Brett and Bryant to meet each other for the first time. For animals.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, the only thing
Toto really didn't get home from Kansas.
No, I mean the only thing I could think is like someone was like, be a really cool picture if we had the two live mascots next
all
to
fun
each
and
other.
games if somebody gets impaled.
And they never thought of what could actually happen when you have two animals that have never interacted with each other. That's crazy.
Key part there, animals.
Yeah, that's right. Key part. It's very important. But hopefully we don't. Let's avoid the two. I doubt Bevo's making the trip, but
I doubt it too. Now, a long time ago, I don't know if this is still the case, but there was a Texas benefactor donor that gave enough money, lifetime endowment, for every member of the band to go to every road game.
Really?
I don't know if it held. I don't know if they really still do it, but that was the story at one time for Texas.
Cow. I did not know that.
But I don't think they allow.
No.
I can't imagine. I don't know if I've ever seen. Well, I think I've seen the Mississippi State Bulldog at a game in Oxford.
Yeah.
Have I ever seen Uga at a road game? Have I ever seen Smokey at a road game?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know if those mascots.
But you can't just get a big old Razorback and a big Longhorn and just carry them around town to town, though, can you?
Absolutely not.
What would the 3-night minimum at the hotel be for them?
Yeah, no. It'd be a lot. I don't even know where you, especially with Bevo. I mean, where you storing Bevo?
We know Florida doesn't have a live animal because that would really shake things up if that got loose.
Yeah, I think it's a little tough to have the live mascots make the
LSU,
trip to away games.
They don't even allow at LSU now for Mike the Tiger to be in the cage and paraded around the field.
Oh wow. He's not there at all. I knew.
He's over in his quarters across the street by the PMAC.
I noticed that he wasn't as visible, but I just figured he was there somewhere.
Beautiful animal though. Yeah. To watch him out there pregame.
That's really cool.
But you're well away even for pictures.
That's right. Yeah. No. Keep me a safe distance and keep me.
But you know about ever so often. I don't know a time frame, but ever so often. You'll get that story of LSU student or fan, very inebriated, that breaks into his cage. Really dumb.
Yeah, not very smart. Not very smart at all. I don't know, Brett, if I have told you my father's story with Tom, but I'll have to tell you about that off the air. Okay. I don't know if I can tell that story on air. I'm sure I could, but I don't know. I don't want to.
I can remember the very first Tom. Fred Pankos was the coach, and Jack Eaton, Action News 5 Sports segment one night, and had it as the baby, as the kitten in Fred Pankos' lap.
That's awesome. I was like, well, at that size, fine, do whatever you want.
Sure, fun.
As it gets bigger,
they grow up.
Things change, and I do not want to be. I don't want to be that close to a live tiger. Well, we got to get to a break here in a second, but before we do that, let me remind you, it's perfect time to head down to Frontier Western Store, family owned and operated since 1967. Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they've got it in stock. It's perfect for the holidays that are now right around the corner. Go out there and get the Christmas shopping done early. And if you need any of those things, but maybe a new pair of jeans for Christmas, Frontier has you covered with all of the big brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. While you're there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dan Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Let's get to another break, and when we return, we're talking the Tigers. Greg Gaston, he joins us next.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly served families across the Mid-South since 1958. Still family owned and operated, we're built on tradition, trust, and old-fashioned service you can count on. And now to celebrate 68 years of service, we're offering a heating tune-up for just $68. Keep your home safe, efficient, and ready for the cold months ahead. Looking to upgrade? Right now, get up to $2,000 in instant carrier cool cash rebates, plus 60 months no interest financing on select carrier systems. That means comfort and savings today and peace of mind for years to come. But that's not all. Upgrade today and take advantage of $500 off a tankless water heater or a whole home generator installation. Even more ways to protect your home and your family. Don't wait. These special offers won't last. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today and turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
Hey everybody, it's time to gobble up the savings. All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch is thankful for all of our customers. Red tags for 0 interest financing are now on every new Silverado and Equinox. And look, your good credit deserves it. All new Chevy Colorados and Equinoxes in stock are now just $100 over invoice. So it's time to gobble up the savings and be in what you really want to drive this Thanksgiving. If you're law enforcement, military, first responder, you get a extra $500 bonus. And Olive Branch is where all the new Chevys are. And it's the only place you can find all the barely driven certified pre-owned Chevys you want. Every pre-owned you could ever want. It's right here in Olive Branch. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy and get the most money for it today. So don't miss the Gobble Up the Savings sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Or go to allstarautogroup.com.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Building with more volume over here on 240, getting on to 385. Bill Morris Parkway cranking it pretty good out towards Collierville, Midtown. Traffic's actually just now starting to get a little bit heavier on 240 South here at South Parkway, I-40. Moving at the moment as you head across the bridge back over into Crittenden County. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off right now at Zips Car Wash for gift cards, wash books. Check them out online for more information. ZipsCarWash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time as we start our third and final hour on this Thursday afternoon. We got to talk the Tigers. We do it at this time every single week with Greg Gaston.
From the Tigers sideline, it's Tigers Talk with Memphis broadcasting legend Greg Gaston. Hear Greg weekday mornings on Sports 56 Mornings, along with Eli Savoy from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. On Twitter X at Greg_Gaston. Here's Greg with Bryant and Brett.
Greg Gaston joins us every Thursday to talk Tigers, and a lot to get to with Tiger football, Tiger basketball. But, Greg, let's start with last Friday night, the Tigers hosting Tulane. I know you were at that game, and it was something that we've seen a lot this season, a slow first-half start for the Tigers. We saw a Tulane get that lead. Now, throughout the season, Tigers have done a good job in the second half being able to come back and win those games, but just too many points allowed in that first half, not able to get the job done. You have the injury to Brendan Lewis. What were your takeaways from last Friday night in the loss against Tulane?
Well, good afternoon, guys. It's extremely disappointing to get off to another slow start, and it lasted throughout the entire first half. Obviously, they came back and played well in the second half. They gave themselves a chance to win the game, just like at UAB, where they could have won that game, and then they made mistakes with the ball, trying to go in and tie a game up or win a game, and the same thing happened in this particular game against Tulane. You had the false start, which put them in a 4th and 8, and a good pass by the backup quarterback, Arrington Maiden, was nearly brought in by Bram, but you're killing yourself when you're putting yourself in a big hole like that in the first half. So obviously it's a big disappointment to come out and play that slow, especially when you're playing at home.
Greg, how would you characterize the last 2 years? When for the last 2 years I've been very bullish on the Tigers, picked college football playoff both years, and to not even reach the American championship game, I just can't do it again until I see a championship game appearance. I mean, no matter what, next summer, summertime, build up and hype for any reason, any motivation, I can't do it until I see a conference championship game appearance. How would you characterize it?
You're probably not alone in that assessment. It's the one thing that's missing from the Silverfield resume. Obviously, he's won some bowl games. He's beaten some power conference teams in bowl games. He's won the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game. They've won some games during the season against bigger opponents. Now, certainly wins over Florida State and a few others when those teams were down, but still, you went on the road and you won a game.
He won the game.
Easy to do. Yes, they won the game. So his resume is a strong resume, but what's missing is very glaring, and that is not making it to the conference championship. And look, he'll be the first to tell you that that's the goal, and if they don't reach that goal, then they didn't complete their mission. And so, yeah, the last couple of years, especially this year, because the way the schedule's set up with these opponents in conference, the better opponents at home. You had them at home. You were able to come back from South Florida against South Florida, another team that you fell behind, to Brian's point. But you weren't able to do it against Tulane. Now, the UAB loss, that is just, it can't happen. And that puts you in a bigger hole. So losing the game against Tulane, now you need a miracle to make it to the conference championship. You need a lot of help, and I mean a lot of help, and you got to win your last 2 games, which will not be easy. But you dug that hole. So certainly the last 2 years are characterized as, yeah, they were good years. They won a lot of football games, but they did not reach their goal.
Can you believe, being in this market for as long as you've been and watching, following, and covering the Tigers this closely, that we got to this point that 9 and 10 wins, a little unfulfilling, not enough?
Yeah, therein lies the problem. I don't think Memphis is alone in that, right? That's all around the country, no matter if it's a collegiate sport that you follow, a team that you follow, or a professional sports team. Once you taste success, you want more, you crave more, and you want it to be more. You're not satisfied with 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins. You're satisfied now, I think, for Tigers fans, getting to the conference championship game.
That's right.
Which has eluded Ryan. Is it fair? No,
it's human
not
nature.
Fair, but yeah, that's human nature. That's for everything. If you're rooting for the Dodgers, you're a Dodgers fan. You want back-to-back World Series titles. Well, next year you expect a three-peat, and if you don't get there, you're going to be disappointed. So. It's the bed that has been made by these coaches. They realize that there's going to be the scrutiny and the criticism. They're making a lot of money, and yes, sometimes you reach the point where just having success is not going to end the thirst of the fan base. We remember, Brett, you and I, the lean years, and Bryant was a little guy when that happened, but finally getting to a bowl game. And we've talked about that many times. Now, a bowl game, are you kidding me? 6 wins, that's old hat every single year for Memphis. But now it's becoming where, like you just said, If you win 9 or 10 and then win a bowl game, 11 last year, then it's still not enough because you haven't reached the pinnacle.
Coach Tommy West yesterday with us said that that he had kind of maxed out and the fans got frustrated with it. The fans are frustrated now, even after the bar got moved. Greg, I always associate fandom to this, and I was proud as I could be of it, and I know you were with that 16-year-old first car mean machine you had. But you don't want to go back to driving it, do you?
No, not at all. Not especially when I had some issues with it. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't
like
great.
No air conditioning and only AM radio, which I didn't mind that because I like AM radio.
Exactly. I had a little tape player and all that. But now, you
Well, I bought that at Radio Shack and kind of rigged it up myself.
I'm not driving around in a Rolls Royce, but I like my ride. And yes, you never want to go back. Once you taste success, once you taste the good part of life, whatever it may be, then you don't want to revert back to what it once was. And
Greg, I had an 8-track player in my machine.
Yeah, I had them all, man. 8-track, disc, CD, cassette, everything. I had all that stuff.
Did you have the case to carry all your 8-tracks around in?
Yeah, I had the case. And I'll tell you a quick story. This is not a great story, but one of my old girlfriends, a lady T-boned me, blindsided me, coming from through a red light.
Be careful, Greg. We're a family show.
Yeah, I know. But, so she smashed into us, and my girlfriend's knee went through my tape deck. So it wasn't like up in the console. It was down like near the shift. Wow. So it was right there, and her knee went right through it. So, yeah, that was it wasn't the good old days. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah, so the taste of finer things, you want to continue to have that taste.
Yeah. Brian, it was such different times that I cut out the seatbelts. They weren't. You did not have to wear one.
Yeah, no, that is much different times. And not to make this about a segment about our first cars, but when I went and got my first car at 16 years old, we went and met a guy in a parking lot, bought it. When we got home, my mom said, "Did y'all check everything?" We go, "Yeah, it rides real nice." She gets in the car. She goes, "Did y'all check the heat and the air?" We go, I didn't really think about it. Neither worked. So, that was our mistake on that one, I guess. But, Greg, Tim Cramsey spoke to the media earlier this week, talked about a lot of different things. But obviously, one thing that a lot of people have discussed, especially over the recent weeks, and how banged up he's been, has been Brendan Lewis, this quarterback room, who they would turn to if Brendan Lewis is not able to go, because we've seen both the backups come in at different points. Arrington Maiden was the quarterback that came in that game against Tulane. And I thought Tim Cramsey gave a good explanation of kind of figuring out the fit and the scheme and who they're playing and which guy fits that. And kind of against Tulane, what they were showing, it really felt like Arrington was the right guy. Against UAB, they were kind of playing from behind, needed a guy that could go out there and sling it. Against East Carolina, if Brendan Lewis isn't able to go, which of those two quarterbacks do you think gives the Tigers the best opportunity to get a road win?
Well, again, it's scenario, right? Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what Tim was talking about. Being behind, they felt that they were going to need some runs from the quarterback. And so there's a lot of things that come into play. Those guys are very, very close. One has a little more experience, not much experience more, but a little bit more, a little bit older in Arrington Maiden. A.J. Hill is a true freshman who has not played a lot, but he played against UAB and did some good things and some bad things. You know, if it was my choice, personally, I'd probably go with Maiden because you have a new system that has been implemented this year for a dual-threat guy like Brendan Lewis. Arrington Maiden is a dual-threat guy. I'm not saying A.J. Hill can't take off and run, but they're not going to be designed plays. You saw Arrington Maiden come into the game last week against Tulane. He came in on a designed play for him, basically a quarterback draw, and he scored the touchdown. So you're going to need the multi-dimension because that's what your team is used to. So I would think that he would get the start. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw both of those quarterbacks. But the hope, again, is Brendan Lewis is going to play. Brendan Lewis, I'm telling you, I have not seen too many guys that have shown that kind of resiliency that he has shown this year. We didn't know a lot about him. All we knew is that he came from Nevada, he started at Colorado, and Nevada picked up a lot of losses. Well, he's come in, banged up, hasn't been 100%.
Been a warrior.
Has been an absolute warrior, and last week it finally caught up, and he couldn't finish the game, and I give Maiden a lot of credit. But it's going to be the scenario. So we don't know. My gut feeling says Lewis will go. We'll give it a go, and then we'll see what happens as the game progresses. but you have East Carolina having to prepare for all three guys just in case.
Greg, totally conjecture and speculation on my part, but it looks like the Liberty Bowl will not have an SEC team, especially if the SEC really fills that college football playoff bracket than with the teams we know that are bowl ineligible from the SEC. Mm-hmm. If that occurred, do you think the University of Memphis administration and athletics department should make another move for the hometown team in the hometown bowl? It would be for the third time. It's probably been a little too frequent, but it beats going to the Cure Bowl.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and obviously that's the de facto conference in case they don't get an SEC team. It's the American. That's the deal, the secondary deal they have. I don't want to see it. I really don't. I can't tell you what the administration would want. There's more money. It's a bigger payout with the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. I think because of this year not making it, if they don't, it's not over yet, but if they don't make it to the conference tournament, the conference championship game, I think the fans are going to be a little soured going back to the Liberty Bowl, to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, and to watch them in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. That's just my feeling. I don't think they're going to get excited. But then again, they're not going to get excited for the Armed Forces Bowl, the Cure Bowl. This is just the way it is. But for those players, do the players want to play in their home stadium and dress in their own locker room? I don't know. I don't know if the players want to do that. Again, the administration's got to take into consideration if they got offered the payout, which I believe is more than the other options. The other thing is that game is not until January 2nd. And I know last year that Coach Silverfield, he definitely wanted to play in a bowl before Christmas. I'm not saying that that's the case again, so I don't really know. But personally, one, because I love traveling. I love going to different stadiums and being on the road. But number two, if I was a player, I could just tell you, if I was a player, heck no would I want to play in a bowl game in my own stadium.
Fair enough.
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I definitely think that's very understandable. Before we talk some basketball, what do you expect against East Carolina? The Pirates, a 2.5-point favorite at home. You think Tigers win? What do you expect on Saturday?
Today we met with the coaches, and while I can't give away trade secrets, I can tell you that they feel pretty good about where they are mentally after that loss, because these players know. They know the scenario. They knew what would happen if they won out. They saw their name last week when the rankings came out by the committee. So, yeah, mentally it's tough to get over that hurdle, and now you go on the road. They get great crowds at East Carolina. Mm-hmm. It almost feels like those Steve Logan coach teams that were really, really good. This is a good team. Harold's done a real nice job with this team after taking over as an interim last year and then getting a full-time job.
To keep it together last year.
Exactly. They have they're the fastest tempo in the conference and one of the fastest in the country. Now, they've played some tempo teams, but they're going to play the fastest tempo. Their quarterback is really, really good, and defensively, they have done a real nice job. This is going to be a challenge. This is the one I actually was looking at before they even played Tulane, the one that scared me even more than Tulane. So I can't tell you guys because I want to see what Tiger team shows up to begin the game and whether or not they're going to find that inner strength that they have shown many times this year. We'll find out what they're made of after a disappointing loss. Obviously, they bounced back nicely from UAB, but there was still a lot of goals in front of them. Those goals are very limited now because they need a lot of help. They don't control their own destiny. But I think they're the better team, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a road game. It's going to be a hostile environment. They close up Greenville, basically. They all lock up their doors from their businesses and their homes, and they go over and watch that team play. And then you turn around and obviously you got Navy on Thanksgiving. So but it's a challenge. And remember, Ryan's got the 9-win clause in his contract. One more win, he gets the rollover of a year. You know, from a standpoint, I mean, he's not talking about that, but you know that's something that's out there. And
yeah,
you know, the team, and the players themselves, look, they'd love to get to 10, and then go to a bowl game. So, I think they've been resilient all year long. I expect them to play well. I think they'll bounce back and win this game. But I'm telling you, it is not going to be easy, and I wouldn't be shocked if they don't win the game.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be easy, that's for sure. We're talking to Greg Gaston. He joins us every Thursday to talk Tigers. It's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis. They have serious vans for serious work at 4430 American Way. They're the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet, new or used? They've got it with full fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter van headquarters. Give them a call, 901-237-9302, or online at sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road. Well, the Tiger basketball team suffered their first loss of the season on the road against Ole Miss. Thought there was a lot of good, some bad, but I thought it was a lot of good out of that loss for the Tigers. What did you see in that one?
I'll tell you what, guys. If they can get some quality play from their bigs, which right now is a big question mark, this could be a very good team. Now, they got a daunting schedule. I understand that. But they went into a hostile environment. They committed only 7 turnovers. I thought they played really, really well. You saw some guys step up. Curtis Gibbons really stepping up. Ashton Hardaway stepping up. I think they have the guys on the perimeter that could be dangerous as other teams try to defend Memphis in a half court and, of course, full court transition baskets. That's what they want to get. But rebounding and those big scoring when they really need some scoring inside, that is the question right now. Will one of them step up? Bradshaw, obviously, is the one that everybody looks at. This guy's a McDonald's All-American. He was a disappointment at Kentucky, didn't do much at Ohio State, thinking that maybe this new lease on life, he can get going. It hasn't happened yet. Still is a young guy, but he's got promise. They all foul too much. They got to be able to defend without fouling. I think Roy Rogers added to that staff. He's a big who played at Alabama and played professionally around the world.
And a late add to the staff.
A very late add. I think he can really do a good job working with these bigs. Majak has shown some promise, but it is the modern big. They got the guys that are 7 foot that want to go outside and hit threes, right? They don't want to bang down low. You know, where are those guys? There's not that many. Now, a guy like the kid they got from Rice, that's a guy who I think who's only 6'8", 6'9", and help me out, Brian. His name escapes me for a second here.
From Rice?
The Ryder transfer.
Oh, Ryder, Tariq Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram. That's the guy who, if he can get in the playing shape, and hopefully he will, stay away from the barbecue, then maybe they can get some support from him down low. That could help out. So if those bigs step it up, I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis is able to pull off an upset or two. But this schedule is absolutely crazy. We made picks last week. Yeah, it's really tough. But I'm with you, Brian. I thought they did a lot of good things against Ole Miss. They got to guard the perimeter better. But every time Memphis made the run, Ole Miss made the big shot. And sometimes you just tip the cap, right, when teams are going to make shots.
And Ole Miss was at home. But it felt like with 2.5 minutes to play, Greg, I really thought, I even watching the game out loud, I said, Memphis is going to steal this at the buzzer.
It looked good when they went to the free throw line after the Ole Miss guy missed 2, and they could have cut it to 2. And then Bradshaw, who's not a bad free throw shooter for a big, and I'm not going to blame the official, but my gosh, stop icing out players.
He sure did.
Greg, come on.
That's not blaming the official. That's an honest analysis of the moment. I thought the same thing, and I said that yesterday, the day after the game.
Sure did.
Yeah, he's ready to go. You take the ball from him. You go over to the coach. You go over to the
got to sort out a clock. Yeah,
yeah, and then he misses the 2. But again, give Ole Miss credit. I really like that Ole Miss team. Yeah. Obviously, Beard's a good coach, but I thought Penny had his team ready to go.
He did. All right, I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at y'all and follow along. So, Coach Penny Hardaway has been the head coach at Memphis for the last 232 games. And I know some of those games, you know, he didn't coach in because of various things, but he's been in charge of the program for 232 games, even when he didn't coach them over the, I think, bogus suspension. He's won, the team's 164 and 68 over that 232. In Josh Pastner's years as head coach at Memphis, through 232 games, he was 164 and 38.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. But Josh had how many NCAA tournament wins? 3?
Yeah.
Just 2, wasn't it?
Was it 2?
Just 2?
Was it 2 or 3?
I thought he won 2 one year and 1 the other, but I could be wrong about that.
No, he never went to a Sweet 16. He never won 2
that's right. He would. Yeah, that would have to put him in the Sweet 16. So 2 for him, which was a disappointment,
Right.
and obviously only one for Penny, which has been a disappointment. So hopefully they can break that mold. But that is some eerie numbers there, Brett.
By comparison, through 232 games, John Calipari 170 and 32, 6 better.
Okay, so
And that was-
how many? So that's 6 years.
Well, it's
Roughly?
232 games. It's over about into the 8th year.
Into the
For-
8th
for-
year. Okay.
for Cal.
By that
Mhm.
time, you saw what he was doing. So
Yeah.
it's not just a matter of, and I think, well, Penny's played a very tough non-conference schedule. You got to give it up for Coach, and we've talked about that before. Of course, John started to do that as well, those big neutral court games, those big tournaments. But they were doing they were doing a lot of good things in the postseason. And that just hasn't happened for Josh and Penny, especially on a consistent basis. Obviously, Tubby, it didn't work out. But, you'd like to get back to not only winning the amount of games and the percentage that they're winning, as you just illustrated, but then starting to win some games that really matter in the postseason.
In the end, John Calipari coached in 244 games as head coach of Memphis, Josh in 240, and Penny will coach in his 233rd on Saturday.
Wow.
Or Sunday.
That's
against
wild.
UNLV.
That's some wild, wacky stuff.
Yes, it is, Greg. That was a lot of arithmetic today. I had to take my shoes off to do it.
Yeah, no, you really did. And we'll see Josh Pastner this Sunday against the Tigers.
Since we're talking 16-year-old cars, Greg, I had to get an old abacus out to figure it out.
Oh, man.
By the way, the car I had that my girlfriend's niece smashed through the tape deck, a Matador, AMC Matador, green.
Very nice. Wow. Oh, very.
Beautiful ride, baby.
What tin of green? Kelly? What?
It was Kelly Green, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It was a 73.
Well, I think y'all know
I
what
wasn't driving in 73, but it was a 73.
Well,
yeah.
same thing. I had a 72 four-door Maverick, and I wasn't driving until 78. But and I think y'all know, a lot of people have used this, and I'm going to use it to be a rock star. I'm not going to use that word. And it was your first car, so yours was what, Greg?
Matador. AMC
All right,
Matador.
So your stage name would be, so Matador would be the first name. What was the first street you ever lived on?
Oh, the first street. Okay, so it would be Yellow in Monopoly, Atlantic Avenue. I lived on Atlantic Avenue.
Wow. You lived on Atlantic Avenue, so your stage name would be Matador Atlantic.
Okay. Wow.
I like it.
What was your first machine?
Mine was a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Do we want to go Jeep or Grand or Cherokee?
Go Cherokee.
Let's do go Cherokee.
He ends up Cherokee Park somehow.
I didn't know it was going this direction. Live radio gets you in trouble.
I don't know. We should finish this one. I don't know.
What was your first street, Brian?
I actually don't remember what my first street was.
First one you remember then?
It would be Hollow Fork Cove. How about that?
Do we go Hollow? Do we go Fork? Or do we go Cove?
Go Hollow.
Hollow.
So your stage name would be Cherokee Hollow. I like that.
Cherokee Hollow.
Now on the grand stage, Cherokee. All right, my first car was Maverick, and I swear living out in the country, I'd never lived on a street. I had not till I got to Fayetteville and lived in the fraternity house, and it was on Stadium Drive, so I would be Maverick Stadium.
Maverick Stadium. All right.
That sounds like a stadium that's sponsored by Maverick Gun or whatever it is.
It really does.
Right.
It
Tonight
really does.
from Maverick Stadium at Greg Gaston Field.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it sounds like you got a top 10 matchup going down there.
That's beautiful.
That
Great
is
stuff,
beautiful.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg, always a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again next Thursday.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Greg. Greg Gaston joining us every single week to talk the Tigers, and it's that time of year where we got to talk it all with the overlap from football and basketball. So
I'm
definitely
bullish
a lot
on the
of good-
Tigers.
You are. I think it should be. I mean, I think there's been a lot of good things shown in these first two games, and schedule is really tough. You're going to see some really tough teams, but
Let me amend that. I may not be as bullish, but I'm more optimistic than I was at 0-0.
yeah, no, optimistic I think is the word of the start of the season. I think it's been very optimistic through these first two games. We'll see against UNLV how optimistic we are after that. This UNLV team has really struggled to start the season, so we'll see what they look like against the Tigers. Well, before we get to a break, let me tell you about our 5 o'clock sponsors, Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984. Their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. Perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology, enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to jaguarbluffcity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince, for Bluff City Jaguar. Let's get to a break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
You know, every year I encourage people to make Thanksgiving easier by having Central Barbecue do all the cooking.
So you're going to do something different this year?
God, no. Central Barbecue is the perfect choice to make your holidays less labor-intensive.
No effort to do something original in?
None. Why would I? You could slave over a hot stove for hours on end to make some fantasy of a meal for friends and family, or just call or go online and let Central Barbecue do all the slaving for you.
That's the holiday spirit?
It sure is. When a holiday is all about eating and then lying around watching college football, then you simply can't beat the ease and comfort of leaving it all to Central Barbecue.
And that's the pioneering spirit.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Ready to shine, Memphis? Save big on Club Car Wash's Best Wash this Tuesday for just $12. Stop by any 4 club locations in Greater Memphis or visit clubcarwash.com to learn more.
Car Wash, join the club.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Trying to wrap up this wreck over here on 240 westbound at Walnut Grove. It's had traffic a little bit slow as you come up through there past Sam Cooper, approaching Walnut Grove on 240 going westbound. Heavy traffic flow right on schedule 40 east now from Sycamore View Road all the way out past Germantown Parkway. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. It's the holiday season, so shop local. Save a lot of money this year at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here comes the hero man. Says he's a people man. Here comes the hero man.
Welcome back Back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, and what's trending this afternoon is Thursday Night Football. Tonight, the Jets and the Patriots. Lopsided game, looking at it on paper. Hopefully it is a good one for us on Thursday night. You can listen to it right here on Sports 56. As always, you can watch it on Prime Video. And Landon, you were telling me that the Patriots are wearing their I believe, new alternate
rival
uniforms.
jerseys.
I've only seen them a couple times, but they look nice.
They look sharp. They're wearing the old stuff, aren't they?
No, this is a new jersey.
Yeah, these are the rival jerseys that were released earlier in the year.
Okay, well, the helmet looks like Is the helmet new?
I don't know. I don't know what the helmet
It's
looks
like an icy white type thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like. They were holding up a jersey on SportsCenter earlier, and I was asking Landon what that jersey was, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's the new jerseys that they're wearing tonight." So I guess
Patriots 70s look was great.
It's really good. It's really good. I like it.
Pat the Patriot.
Yeah, no, I like it when we get Patriot throwback stuff. But I think tonight's like a new, like straight out of the box type of uniform. I don't know what the helmet looks like.
What are the Jets wearing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Do they have a jersey, a fun jersey as well?
They have a rival jersey, but I don't think it's
they're
for
not
this
wearing
game.
it. Okay, well, yeah, I think it should just be
kind of a throwback game to the Patriots dominating the AFC East again over the Jets.
Well, yeah,
Patriots in first, Jets in last.
Right.
What's new?
Yeah, it kind of is, and what is new? And I'm hoping it's not a lopsided game tonight. The line right now is 12.5. I believe at one point it was 13.5. But now at 12.5. Never good when you see those type of lines in the NFL, and especially when you have it as a primetime game.
And let's see what kind of game we get, because remember last week and a few weeks before that, it's been my contention that late in the year is making Thursday kind of ugly again.
Yeah, no, and it really is. I mean, you're right on with that, because, I mean, you like you said, you look at these last couple of weeks, they've not been pretty games. They've not been fun games, and this kind of has the making of being another not fun game. So I don't know what we're going to get tonight.
All right, Brian, I know everybody. I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
We're lockstep in how bad the trade was that Nico Harrison traded away Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
We're all there.
Yeah.
Titans may have a word. A.J. Brown's already won a Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Yeah, no.
Derrick Henry's gone over 2K. And now Mike Vrabel has the Patriots turned around. That's the trifecta of bad from the Titans.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to argue on which front office has done a worse job with their organization, because I think they're both awful. I don't even know if you want to rank which is worse, because they've both been as bad as it gets. And certainly for the Titans, and Landon's rocking his Titans gear today. Yeah. I mean, it was because. Look, Luka was really bad, but it was trading one player, and then let's see how you can do with everything else. For the Titans, it was getting rid of multiple players, getting rid of a really, really good coach, and all of them are making you pay for it and showing that they all still had a lot left in them.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, that's again, I don't want to get into the business of ranking the worst jobs done by front offices, but
all right,
they're there.
You'll be able to watch tonight's game, though, won't you?
Yeah, I'll be able to watch. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
The YouTube doesn't affect that tonight.
No. Yeah, with Prime, as long as you got Amazon Prime, you're
okay.
golden on this, and hopefully we'll. I think they had YouTube TV had some sort of big meeting today, and it did not go well. People are not happy in the meetings that they don't have. It was like one of their shares earnings meetings or something like that. And
I don't know if good or bad, but I think Congress is getting ready to get involved.
Well, that's always the good.
That
or
usually
bad.
Makes it worse.
Yeah, I just want to watch ESPN on YouTube TV. So that's all I really am asking for. I'm not asking. I don't think I'm asking for much. But
so Saturday for college football, how are you going to consume?
Well, I'm fine without it. My parents have DirecTV stream, so I just log into theirs.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of other people.
This is how ignorant I am. Log into theirs, and you get it on regular traditional TV, or I don't laptop or phone.
Brett, traditional TV is not a word that I use because all of my TVs are smart TVs, and so I have apps on all my TVs.
I mean, like the size.
Oh yeah. I can put it on.
You're not just stuck to a screen.
Yeah. No,
okay.
I can put it on TV. Now the problem you get is like with your television, you can change it to whatever channel you want. I'm pretty much stuck on a game, and I can't really.
So you're not hitting the reverse button.
No, I certainly can't hit the reverse button. Now with like DirecTV Stream, it's the same concept as television, so I can kind of get out and go to a different channel, or I can like scroll between channels. But like if I want to watch one, like if I'm one to watch tonight's game on Prime, and also want to watch the Alabama-Purdue game, I can't just hit the back button. I got to go all the way out of an app and then go into a completely different app and then find the game, and it's a process.
Have y'all noticed this when you go out? And first of all, when you go out, do you ever ask to have the TV changed, or do you just take whatever you're getting if you're out?
It depends. Like if like Huey's, I'm always at Huey's, and I know like the servers a little bit, and so I feel very comfortable asking them to change the channel.
Same. And if I don't, I will try to nicely ask, like, is somebody really engaged in this, or is this just background for everybody? Would you mind?
Yeah.
And almost never does somebody go, no, keep it on World Team Tennis. It's always on something like that.
That's a lot of the times you kind of try to pick up the vibe around there. Are people watching this or not?
After you get past that step, have you found that it's difficult for them to find something?
Yeah, no, it is. It is difficult for them.
Wrong remote control, pointing at the wrong place.
Yeah, but that's also I think a result of what television has gone to with all the streaming and apps and different things like that. Because the TV up here, Brett, I cannot tell you a single channel. I have to look up on my phone every single time I want to change it. Like I have it. Earlier today, it was on ESPN. I flipped it over to FS1 because West Virginia and Pittsburgh are playing, and I wanted to watch that game. I had to pull up on my phone and look up what channel is FS1, and then go and figure out which remote. So I mean, I'm in that. I can't judge them. I'm in
TV
there.
era.
Yeah,
isn't it?
No, it is, and that's the thing. Is like I feel like a lot of times people will, they'll take their anger out on and be like, oh, well, that server needs to know what channel it is. But like, man, the way TV is, it's more on
just
TV.
the opposite. Be very patient with that person.
Yeah, and I wish more people were, because unfortunately I feel like it's the other way.
And I told you on the road when Ole Miss played Georgia, we stayed at a place that was just mind blowing in Brazelton, Georgia. As nice as any road hotel that I've ever stayed at. And you remember when I was connecting to get radio, nothing worked in the room. Nothing. Couldn't get TV on. Couldn't get nothing worked. Finally had to get somebody, and it was even an issue for them. It just wasn't because I'm dumb. They like to never figured it out, and they worked there.
Well, yeah, that's unfortunate.
And the TV just didn't roll to get to something. It just took forever.
Yeah, interesting.
And it was an unbelievable place and a great TV, but it didn't get what I wanted, and that was like watching the playoff game in baseball.
You're not asking for much. I know that. You're not going in there asking for the movie channels or anything like that. I mean, you're just the basics. You just need that.
I'm not trying to game on it.
No, you just want to be able to watch sports, and so it feels very, very easy to get.
The rest of the weekend, since I knew I'd finally found ESPN. I just left it on there the rest of the weekend on and never turned it off until I left.
Oh, wow.
Because I was scared I couldn't get it back on.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess that if it's that complicated, you don't really want to mess anything up.
Now, a lot of that is user ignorance as well.
It's part of the problem. I would assume. But but hopefully they get something figured out, because this weekend would be 3 football Saturdays without YouTube TV and ESPN, I believe.
It's worse than the government shutdown.
No, it is. It really is. I mean, it's pretty much lasted just as long. So hopefully we get some resolution on that, and because I know a lot of people have YouTube TV and have used YouTube TV and are really, really struggling with this. But I do know if you are struggling, if we get to this weekend again, Sling, which is another option, they do day passes, and you can just go up there. It's like $5 for a day pass, and
do I have to have a gizmo to hook up to the Sling?
You do. Yeah, no, you'd have to have a gizmo to hook up with the Sling. But I guess for the YouTube TV people, they already have.
Who are the Roku people these days?
Oh,
are they getting everything?
Yeah, I have Roku. That's what I use for my television. So I guess I'm a Roku person, but Roku's just more of like Roku's not much. I mean, that's like the vessel, like it's just getting you there. You got to have all the other apps.
Is your password on the Roku Cherokee Hollow?
No, it's not. But it might be. I might start using that. That's not bad. But what I've learned is a lot of these websites, apps, whatever it might be, you can't use the same password over and over again. You got to change it every so often. And so it might be one to add to my repertoire.
Right.
I'm
it
running out of options.
It would be good for it. I know it's getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. And with that, it's time to gobble up the savings at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there, from all the people at All-Star Chevrolet to everyone in our listening audience. The red tag sales are going on right now for zero interest financing. Red tags are now on every new Silverado and Equinox, and your good credit deserves it at All-Star. First exit, take Highway 78 into Mississippi, Kraft Goodman Road, you're there. All new Chevy Colorados and Equinoxes in stock are now just $100 over the invoice. It's time to gobble up the savings and be in what you really want to drive for this Thanksgiving and the holidays and into 2026. If you're in law enforcement, military, first responder, you get a $500 bonus. Olive Branch, it's where all the new Chevys are, where all the barely driven certified pre-owned Chevys are. Every pre-owned you could want's right there at All-Star Chevrolet. Drew DePriest and his great team, they're ready to help you out. And if you've got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star, and you'll get the most money back for it first thing tomorrow morning. Don't miss the Gobble Up the Savings sale going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. For more information, you can always go to allstarautogroup.com.
Speaking of television, the Pac-12 reached a 5-year media rights deal with USA. How about that? So Pac-12
and did you see that they're going to announce every kickoff time in the preseason? It will be no 6-day, 10-day, 12-day, 92-hour slide stuff. You're going to know kickoff times.
Well, that's kind of like with some of those other channels that we get with, the TBS and stuff like that. Like USA, I don't know what all they're showing on USA, but every time I'm on USA, they're showing old Law and Order episodes. So I guess when you're just showing reruns all day, you can kind of set the whole schedule.
Right now on USA, Law and Order Special Victims Unit
usually is on,
and this show, Depravity Standard.
Okay, I'm sure it's a great episode. I like Law and Order. So
that's right up there with Cherokee Hollow and Maverick Stadium.
That's right, yeah.
And Matador Atlantic.
Gotta be careful.
Depravity Standard.
That is. That sounds like it could be somebody's. But we need to get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Tom McCarthy here from Westwood One. Join me and Devin McCourty for Thursday Night Football this week with AFC East action between the Patriots and the Jets. Drake May and New England are on a smoking hot 7-game winning streak and sit atop the division. But now they host an improved Jets team looking for a third straight win. Don't miss any of the action. Jets, Patriots on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000. Orden, Mississippi.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly served families across the Mid-South since 1958. Still family owned and operated, we're built on tradition, trust, and old-fashioned service you can count on. And now to celebrate 68 years of service, we're offering a heating tune-up for just $68. Keep your home safe, efficient, and ready for the cold months ahead. Looking to upgrade? Right now, get up to $2,000 in instant carrier cool cash rebates, plus 60 months, no interest financing on select carrier systems. That means comfort and savings today and peace of mind for years to come. But that's not all. Upgrade today and take advantage of $500 off a tankless water heater or a whole home generator installation. Even more ways to protect your home and your family. Don't wait. These special offers won't last. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today and turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye!
It's obviously Crunch Time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Well, Crunch Time is brought to you every afternoon by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Now let me try. Well, Brett, what I learned this afternoon, a couple of things, and unfortunately, some injury news out of the NBA after leaving the game last night for the Knicks. Brunson is going to miss some time, a grade 1 ankle sprain for Jalen Brunson. So at least I don't know how the grades work and what that really means on severity, but an ankle sprain could have been worse. You saw the play where he comes down.
Left on crutches.
Yeah, he sure did. And Brett, when it happened, he immediately went back to the locker room. I mean, he did not stop at all. Immediately went back to the locker room, and then, like you said, left in a boot and on crutches. So I think a lot of people were fearing the worst. But maybe the good news is only an ankle sprain. He will not play in the game this week, in Friday night's game against the Heat tomorrow night. But maybe he'll be back in a week or two, and it won't be much time missed for Brunson.
I think my math is right on this. I learned today that there are 63 teams that have reached bowl eligibility in FBS. We need 82 teams to fill all the bowl slots. If the SEC got 5 or 6 teams for sure in the playoffs, I don't think there's going to be enough teams to go around for the Liberty Bowl. Will be a big discussion of Memphis in the Liberty Bowl if they can make it work and if everybody would want to do that, because it might not be a lot of appetite by the players to play in that, but there's not any by the fans to go to the Cure Bowl.
No, absolutely not. There's definitely no want for that. Well, what I could have done without, we learn more and more about the Guardians pitchers. And today, the news has been all about Emmanuel Clase, who returned to the States and was in front of a judge this afternoon. He did not speak in court, did not talk to reporters after. All he did was answer the judge's yes or no questions through an interpreter. But, I mean, the story with this, we continue to learn more and more, and it just doesn't look good. According to prosecutors, the two Cleveland pitchers accepted thousands of dollars in bribes to help 2 unnamed gamblers in their native Dominican Republic win at least $460,000 on bets placed on the speed and outcome of their pitches. And Clase, I mean, this is a guy that was one of the top relief pitchers in Major League Baseball on a 4-year, in the 4th year of his 5-year, $20 million contract. Just threw it all away for a couple $1,000s of bets.
That math doesn't add up. There's even some speculation around last year, 2024 playoffs, of something funny happening in some of those games.
Oh, man. It feels like these stories can get really ugly.
I could have done without the Jalen Brunson injury and him limping off, and I'm stealing this from our buddy Brian Geltzeiler.
Yeah.
What if that had happened with Tom Thibodeau coaching and him still in that game down 17 and a throwaway loss? Mike Brown is not getting near the criticism that Tibbs would have gotten.
That's a good point. That is a really good point, and it kind of goes back to the narrative around Thibodeau and kind of him.
Grinder,
and
making them play.
Exactly. Getting 40 minutes out of his guys every single night. But, I think hopefully it's better news today that it's just an ankle sprain. Where are you beaming tonight?
Gillette Stadium for Jets at New England. The Jets meet the new boss, same as the old boss in the AFC East. Jets in last, New England in first. Nothing new about that.
Nothing new at all. But being me to this Alabama-Purdue game, it gets started in just a couple minutes. Should be a fun one between 2 top 10 teams.
Never, ever before has it been said, Tuscaloosa, basketball town.
It really doesn't have a nice ring to it.
And Greenville, North Carolina tonight for that big matchup. East Carolina and Elizabeth State City.
All right. Did we ever figure out which one it is?
No.
I don't think so. But it is a lot to watch tonight. NBA, NFL, college football, college basketball with the big game between Purdue and Alabama. And as always, you can listen to tonight's NFL game between the Jets and the Patriots right here on Sports 56. We'll have the coverage starting at 7 o'clock. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.